ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Apologies for the delay, but, you know, life catches you unexpectedly sometimes in all corners of life. But we are here finally, and things are ready. This is Lenovo Legion presents Legion of Valkyries, and this is actually the second stage in the round robins. I will be casting this game between Poggers versus Sanguine. Sanguine, as you can see, the best of one map to be played right now will be Ascent, and they are starting on the defensive side. Meanwhile, Poggers on the attackers. You know how I think about Ascent. Really, you should be having certain agents as a composition, and some of the teams are actually chatting into the voice chat right now. As you can see, both teams. Oh no, only one team, Sanguine. They are playing Sova and Omen, Phoenix, Cypher, and Reyna. Very essential picks, very workable picks, a standard composition on Ascent. Meanwhile, on the flip side, we do have Cypher, Jet, Brimstone, which is quite surprising, Sage on Ossicat, and Riv. Ossicat, a very well-known Sage main, and Riv, I think, a Phoenix main in that sense. Bethany, though, I've seen her play Jet in the past. Rosa, quite surprising to see her on the Jet instead. As always, tonight you won't have Crash observing, so you'll have to deal with me as I observe and talk at the same time. But nonetheless, we should be able to get something done. As always, guys, do let me know if my microphone is a little bit too loud or anything. I can always adjust the settings on the fly. Maybe it's too quiet. Currently, Sanguine, they're already going for a massive assault towards the B side. Bethany, Bunny, I like the Cypher Cage. It doesn't quite manage to catch the player. Great dink onto Rosa. Does go down in the process, though. This site has been taken. Plant will go down in hands of Ossicat, charging up that Sage Resurrection. Rosa still holding this angle. Bucky at point blank distances. It'll be so deadly. Good for another. And Katie finally takes her down. Goes to the overheal as Reyna as well. That will allow her to have extra HP and a ghost. But however, her players are falling one person at a time. No trades coming out. Riv, and she takes down Joy. Point blank. You do see on the other side, Churro holding next to the wall. Might not get revealed in time, and we'll go aggro, and oh my god, it's just a swarm right now. As you can see, the entirety of Poggers, they just ran straight through the wall and took down the last few players of Sanguine. Well done. Suitable aggression. And actually, I just realized that one of the left boxes, it's a little bit too tall, isn't it? Let's adjust that size a little bit. And it's been a while since I've been back casting for LPL. Lenovo Legion. There we go, that should look better. I'll adjust the next box in a moment, because right now, Poggers, again, going massive aggression. I like the teamwork coming out. You always have Jet diving onto the site first, and Bunny, once again, same position with the Cypher, but no utility there to be expended. Riv will take down one, already onto Strawberry. The retake, it's down by a player. You have to group up with the classics and hope for the best, but oh dear me, look at this Poggers. They're not letting anyone get anywhere. Just massive aggression, especially letting Ossicat farm her ultimate a little bit more. Great flash. Doesn't check the corner though. Ossicat, good for two. Sprays down three with one clip. Triple kill. And Bunny wasn't long for this world either. Flawless round for Poggers. And they take the sites and the round win like a storm. Ossicat, already one more ult point of having that Sage Resurrection, a quintessential ultimate after losing a teammate. Instantly brings back the man advantage. But Sanguine, this should be their first buy round. However, I do think they forced in the previous, as you can see, 3 players, full armor, and Spectres. Well, no, they should be able to buy Vandals and Rifles. Yeah, that's right. You sell the Spectres and buy back. Katie, the only person... Well, Katie and Joy, actually, the 2 players halfway towards the ultimates. But this unwarranted aggression, once again, from Poggers. I don't think that the players of Sanguine are just ready to deal with it. Joy holding under heaven, and Small is just smoked off. Can't really assist Joy. I like the angle from Joy though, but it looks the wrong way in the worst timing possible. Rosa walks right in and sprays her down with the Spectre. Riv, go for a Hail Mary play of sorts, just to spam with the Ghost, get some damage going. Small, I like the Shock Dart, won't actually tag anything though. But Bunny, first kill, 4 on 4. They have the gun advantage. 2 players of Poggers holding out long. One goes down, and Rosa catches a few players off guard. Rosa for 2 now. Still going at this point. 7 HP, causing such a menace of issues for Sanguine. The retake is still very possible. The spike hasn't ticked down too far. That hot hands, though, will buy time for them. Katie, no Leas to work with. We'll have to go for a kill onto Rosa at this rate to use her utility, but the spike is sticking away a little bit too fast, and you do have another player. Long, Riv takes down Katie, all down to Strawberry by herself, and Rosa juking around the boxes on site. 4 kills for her. 3-0 going the way of Poggers right now. Oh, that's rough though. Riv and Rosa, they tried to get out, but they couldn't really escape the range of the spike explosion. As a result, they do lose their lives and their guns, but they won the round, and their economy is booming, I have to say. Sanguine gonna be forced into a half-buy or an eco at the very worst. I'll take this opportunity to just adjust the box on the right side a tiny bit more. There we go, that looks good. Oh, ends up missing actually quite a bit of aggression coming out on both sides. Sorry, we're back. Once again, Sanguine, they keep getting caught off guard by the run and gun style of Poggers. Nothing they can really do at this point. Side has been given up. The best thing they can hope for now is the retake. Benny does have that Cypher trap, and the camera doesn't quite catch anything out, unfortunately. Bunny, good crosshair placement, but spamming a few shots into a smoke, expecting the player to be playing in the smoke. Timing is wrong though. Churro thankfully misses the shots out of distance. Rosa for 4 kills at this point. Churro, hungry, thirsty for this kill, will go for the drive-by shootout. Takes down Bunny. Flawless round again for Poggers. Things are looking good. Now, I do apologize, guys, once again, if the graphics look a little bit weird, because I haven't been on Lenovo for a while, but hey, you'll have to live with it. I know that the overlay is looking a little bit funny. The sizing's not quite right. I'll try and get it adjusted as we speak. Trust me though, it's not easy, I'll tell you that.
Smoke's down.
Poggers, again. We mid aggression. They're playing very well as a team, taking angles, taking fights. They aren't afraid at all. Meanwhile, Sanguine is so split up. That Cypher trap was good, but however, Strawberry couldn't quite capitalize. Great spray through the smoke by Riv. That's already a player down. Mid has been taken, and at this point, Sanguine, they have to group up and go for the B defensive retake, because Bunny, by herself, maybe can take down Bethany. Oh, but Bethany gets dinked. It doesn't matter. Still catches Bunny off guard with a single shot from the Vandal. And that is why the Vandal has such a distinct advantage over the Phantom in situations. Only takes 1 shot to the head to get the kill. This is rough for Small. Getting triple peaked off of a resurrection? Yeah, she wasn't long for this world. Poggers on an absolute roll currently. Rosa popping off 13 kills. The Blade Storm hasn't even been invested yet. Money, once again, not much to say here. Flowing for Poggers. The only thing I can say about Sanguine is, besides the fact that they are going for a half-buy save at this point, they have more or less 5 ultimates available. The only issue is they're not being aggressive enough, and they're not playing passive to an extent to be able to counter what Poggers are trying to do with their aggression. Riv, there you go, aggression. But now we are seeing Poggers split up slightly, just leaving Riv by herself to try work the B sites. 3 plays around. It's a one-way cage, but no one's peeking off of it. Riv will be able to get positioning and know that Cypher is around on the B site. Rosa and Osaka about the challenge. Katie, can you get a single kill into 1? No, you can't, because Rosa's just too fast, too sharp. Swings the corner, headshots. A site has been taken. Poggers, still just aggression on aggression. It can't be stopped. Bunny does get the kill onto Riv, and there will be the neural theft. I like this, however, coming up from Sanguine. They are playing defensively for the retake, waiting for everyone to group up. The recon arrow in the smokes, I do think, it doesn't quite catch anything. I like that. There you go. The run it back, but no, the Sage will in the nick of time catches Joy off guard, and Rosa still holding this angle, has the Vandal, 15 bullets, has plenty to work with. This is great, jumping up high. No one will see this coming, but Joy does take her down. The retake You're getting kills, but you're not getting enough trades at this point. You're down to the last 2 players. 3 on sites for the attackers. And sure, this is huge. Will jump up into window on the flank. Takes down Small from behind. All down to Joy by herself. Here's the thundering footsteps of Churro. Oh, and with a few shots. Churro too fast. 180s sprays her down. 6 up currently. 6 up for Poggers. They haven't been able to let Sanguine get anything. Sanguine, you had so many ultimates, but... oh, dearie me. They can't make anything work with it. Joy, the runner back, you saw how disastrously that ended. As she was going to run onto the site with a curveball for the retake, the insta-wall by Osacat, perfect timing. The curveball flashes her own teammates, and then the runner back gets wasted. Poor girl.
Launching smoke.
Sanguine still playing standard defense. At a certain point, you have to realize that if playing defensively isn't working, you have to play aggressive and try counter the aggression of Poggers with your aggression of your own. Rosa only wasting 1 blade just for the Cypher Trap. It was expensive, but could be worth it. Riv the runner back does pave the way for Rosa somewhat, but doesn't actually get any intel. Rosa, by herself, about to engage with quite a few players real soon, especially on the other side. Katie, the Empress, is online. That's a huge fire rate boost. But Rosa, oh, just catches Bunny off guard. And with the Blade Storm's pulled out, we'll take down Katie. Dashes right into the bullets of Small. Finally does go down. Numbers are tied up 3 on 3 as Strawberry takes one onto Churro. The spike, however, it's being ferried over towards the B sides ideally, but Osacat has walled herself off in the market angle. This is crucial that she stays alive because around the corner, curveball from Joy and Osacat. Yeah, look, she had the right crosshair placement, landed a single bullet. Still goes down though. For once, we might see Sanguine actually take a round because they have such a distinct man advantage, but not Bethany can help it. Point blank swings, sprays down Joy. The last 2 players on the defenders, they have ultimates to work with, but the pinch coming out from Riv right now, no one knows where she is. She can't quite find the other last 2 players either. Stomping around, her position is revealed. Point blank. Oh, great flick onto Strawberry. They can go over towards the B side now. About 10 seconds left. Riv has no time to dilly-dally. Has to jump on and get the spike planted ASAP. Small, Hunter's Fury is available. And won't choose to invest it to take, to prevent the spike from being planted. The issue now is, Riv, you have the Flame Wall still available to heal yourself up, but using it may reveal your position. Small, being sober, has a recon arrow, and that's the question. Will it scan Riv? Oh, it's dangerously close, but just isn't quite there. Our drone by Small just to scout out exactly where Riv is playing, but time is running short. That's the problem. Oh, this is huge as well by Riv. She took great positioning. Reposition while Small was in the L drone. And, oh, dearie me, the insta takedown. 7 up now. Sanguine not able to get anything started. Rosa hard carrying the team. 17 kills. And not showing any signs of slowing down. Small, unfortunately, in that round, she did have the Hunter's Fury available to her, and perhaps could have used it to clear a few angles instead of using the owl drone. The spike's already been planted. As it ticks down even further, you don't really have time to stand still and use utility. It's 1v1. You gotta take those engagements. Poggers, a similar story, always going for aggression, and it does seem that the players of Sanguine, they are on a half buy. You have a judge on Riv. Not on Riv, actually. Joy, sorry. Both 3-letter names. Small. Gonna have to try anchor down A sites from a short angle as much as she can. Will choose to play passive, not letting herself get shown. And Rosa, oh, walks right through the smoke. Doesn't even think to check the corners. Small with the easiest spray down of her life. Damage has been done. The spike's been planted, but Poggers, they're down a player. Oh, and the instant trade back and forth. Joy does come out on top. We'll exchange. That's Judge for a Phantom. Osacat again, poised and ready for the Sage Wall with the perfect timing, ideally. Katie. There you go. Lear, just not quite in the nick of time, and this is fantastic. That Sage Wall, it essentially creates a kill angle for the defenders to push through. And oh, that's brutal as well. The orbital strike couldn't quite get a play, but Katie does manage to spray one down. Has to run away though because the spike is about to explode, and Small does get the kill. But unfortunately, she can't escape the spike explosion. Goes down. flawless currently. Flawless. Going the way of Poggers. 8 straight. Sanguine. They're getting closer. They're starting to adapt. But is it too little too late? I should also take this opportunity to try adjust the assets again. There we go. That looks much better. Because for some reason, these pictures aren't rendered in 1920 by 1080, so it's a little bit confusing. And, action already happening. Come on, come on, come on, Digital, you can do this. Adjust the graphics. Bingo. Alright, that's better. That looks better.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Runner back by Riv again, going solo. A Cypher Trap won't really stop her too much. Gets one kill almost onto the second. Bunny is dead. That's your Cypher Trap's gone. And Riv is very aware that Strawberry is around the corner, but the side take is going over towards A. Katie, great spray through the smoke, takes down one. Rosa from heaven by Small. Small still trying to readjust her aim, trying to get another kill. And Joy with the run it back, going aggressive. Will take down Bethany before she goes down. All down to Oscar by herself. 1v2 resurrection is available. It should come at any moment soon. But however, she can't quite find the dead body of her friend because her teammates' dead bodies are on the wall. It's blocked off. She has a spike, can't plant this in 1v2. Bethany is just a bait, and great swing by Osakat. Takes down Strawberry. It's all down to Riv by herself. I mean, Joy still has 2 curveballs to work with, but this is going to be a little bit risky. Joy, great initial pick. Curveball out, and the hot hands. How about has utility pulled out? Almost had her pants down. Doesn't matter. Osakat missed the shots. Joy with the headshot, and the first round now on the board for Sanguine. Joy overjoyed that she managed to clutch it out for her team in a 1v2, having a little celebration right there, and actually used that $200 curveball. That was good actually from Sanguine. Their backs were against the wall, but Joy, just a Hail Mary play, managed to get at least 1 kill and still could keep going to clutch it out. Osakat almost had it as well. Fantastic using the resurrection on Bethany as bait. Gets the initial pick, but then the last 2, they couldn't quite get the trades going in the 2v1. As a result, Sanguine, they do pick up the first round. The name of the game is mid control and aggression. Poggers again. Rosa by herself, coming out really far. So far, just trying to hold the angle, expecting an aggressive push to come out from Sanguine, and it's actually what I expect them to do as well. And yet Sanguine, they are doubling up though, so that's at least a very welcome change. Osakat, initial pick onto Joy. Once again, Sanguine starting the round on the back foot, and 2 players of Poggers already in B main, about to push out in the pinch as well. Rosa, sharp aim again, and pulls out utility. Doesn't matter, we'll get the sprays down on Bunny and Strawberry. B side has been opened up for her teammates. 5 players standing, and the spike should be able to get planted. Down to the last 2 now. The retake is very much doable, but it's a tall task to ask for. Riv with the curveball just to buy time. Katie, 1 more kill, and she can have the Empress to work with. Both curveballs are invested, and Osakat, of course, with the Sage Wall. Yeah, this is going to be rough. They still have the Hunter's Fury available. Osakat sprays down Katie, going more aggressively now. I like this shot to fake the footsteps of her drop. And 9 rounds, losing 1 player. Sanguine, things are rough. Things are rough. There's 2 rounds left in the first half, and they are on an eco again. Bunny, perhaps just a little bit exasperated at what's going on. Buys Phantom. Does refund it in the nick of time, though. Aggression again. But finally, we could be seeing a change of tone coming out from Sanguine here. Small with the initial Recon arrow off of the Owl drone. Spots out Shura, but doesn't opt to use the Hunter's Fury just yet. It's just fear tactics. But now, point blank with Osacat. Osacat that does have the bigger gun, and will be able to smart out the arms of Small. And there you go, quick flick. Job is done. Osacat still going aggressive, takes down Joy. Headshots everywhere. Osacat for 3 now. All headshots on for the ace. Let's see it happen, Osacat. Yes! It's all down to Strawberry by herself. Osacat, this could be her time to shine, baby. She knows where the last player is. Strawberry only hits a classic. You have to right click it. Turns her back. The footsteps. Osacat takes advantage of her teammate as distraction. The first ace we've seen this game. Resurrection. It's charged up. Who cares? She doesn't have to use it. It's the last round of the first half. 3 ultimates on Poggers. Rosa, the Blade Storm. Not that she really needs to use it. Osacat, the Resurrection. The instantaneous man advantage retained. And Bethany, Neural Theft. Once again, they're very situational ultimates. And not really useful currently, looking at this scoreline. Up by 9. Small and Katie. Empress and the Hunter's Fury. However, 1 is still yet to be used. Katie, I like this though. Empress, if used now, could pick off Rosa, and that's a spike down towards mid. So far, it's just absolute patience coming out from everyone. Small, long distance angle. This will be the ideal moment to use the Hunter's Fury. Spraying through the smoke, you're trying to use the Cypher Cam to its maximum advantage. Doesn't quite get anything though. I like this really coordinated sight take coming out from Poggers as well. Everyone just clearing every single angle, even angles that don't exist. Bunny trying to spray through the smoke, get a few kills, and this wall has been closed. Churro, sneaky positioning. I don't think she's been known. Cyber Cage as well, just to hide her a little bit longer. Rose off the plant, 5v5 on the retake. This is going to be absolutely chaotic right now. Joy takes down Riv, and Churro still holding this angle. Running back is available from Joy, and it just depends. Will she clear the market angle for her teammates? No, pushes right onto the site. Churro sprays down Bunny and Katie. Joy trying to push on, get a kill. Unbeknownst to them, though, Osacat on the Sage Wall, still causing so many issues for Sanguine. The last 2 players are essentially off-site. However, the war swing is a 2v1. It's all down to Joy by herself to make it a 1v3. Joy takes the first kill. Trying to get it halfway with the defuse. Not going to happen though. Osacat point blank will execute her. The orbital strike used just for good measure.
Switching sides.
Rosa going atomic this game. 20 kills. 20. Humongous. Osacat not far behind on 16. And along with Joy, the only 3 players currently in the server to break double digits. It's the second half. And by golly, do Sanguine need to win the pistol, or else it's going to be a really rough time to come back with. 2 rounds, that's all it is needed by Poggers to take this best of 1. It's round robin after all. And they should be looking to move into the grand finals. Granted, I don't actually know what the round robin scores are right now. I'll have to check. Riv, madly aggressive angle with assistance perhaps from Rosa. They are 2-manning this. Rosa, initial engagements. All have a Sage to heal her up just a little bit more. And the defense currently right now from Poggers is just gold. You have Osacat who walled off the B angle, guaranteeing that no one on Sanguine can push through for the time being. And everyone else just rotates over to A with the Rosa, the lone Jet, trying to lock down mid. Eyeballing the B link. Slowly but surely, we are seeing all the players of Sanguine work towards A. As a whole unit, 5 players. The tiptoeing, but if they go for the ult orb, that will be their position exposed. Smokes coming out very slowly. I like the camera from to check Wine as well. Cage by Bethany. We'll have to spot out the sober arrow. It doesn't matter, but sure if the Molotov burns down Katie. Bethany has repositioned. So far, so good for the for the site defense. and it forces all the last 4 players of Sanguine to run away. However, there's only about 10 seconds left on the timer. They can't really afford to go towards B. It has to be A or bust now at this point. Joy has to sprint it all the way, but Osicat will make things harder for them. Oh, that's just brutal. The slow orb timing, and it's just an absolute massacre. Poggers, they take the first pistol round on the second half convincingly. Osicat, the Sage main experience has paid off. I've seen her play Sage in the past. There were moments that weren't her finest, but now we're seeing impeccable timing with her usage of utility. The Sage Wall early on to deny any form of a push towards B, and she's looking to play on her Sage Wall now with the Bucky and get a few easy shots onto Sanguine. And plus, that previous round as well, that they had a few seconds left. May have made it onto site to plant the spike. It was a pipe dream, but Osicat absolutely destroys all the hopes and dreams with a single slow orb. And look, there you go. There's the Bucky. At this distance, on an off angle, it's a kill box. But goes overly aggressive, and Bunny, in fact, 3 players of Sanguine, they were ready and waiting for her. Osicat, no Sage slows the deny progress. Now, Riv pushes down B lane by herself, and the instant kill. Rosa, it's all down to her now to get some intel for her team. Here's Mass footsteps over towards the A short angle, and dear me, she's calling for the rotation. Bethany, get back onto A. You have Cypher utility on site, and Bethany's calling her right now. They're on A. Here's too many footsteps, and she will patiently wait for the coordinated retake as a unit. Sure, you gotta check this corner. We'll spot out Bunny, and there you go. The numbers are slightly better, but still favoring Sanguine, and they'll take that back as Bethany will take down Strawberry ASAP. Joy, the crossfire. Bethany too fast for her. Down to Katie now by herself. This is the nerfed Stinger, by the way. All down to Katie now. 1v2 for match point. We'll get one and sprays down Rosa. What a clutch with 20 bullets in the magazine and the frenzy, and no, the Stinger actually. That came down so close to the last player. Katie does rise to the occasion. Well, they did survive for another round, but the real big issue is, look, you have to get 10 more just to force overtime. And as well, not only get 10 rounds in a row, you also have to build up economy and make sure that you don't get altered by, say, Rosa or Churro, the Orbital Strike or the Blade Storm. It's not impossible, but things are rough. There have been easier journeys. And for once, Poggers playing really defensively. No one peeking. Rosa consistently just jiggling around mid, trying to spot out some plays of Sanguine just for intel purposes. Osicat point blank with the Bucky again. Footsteps do tell her they're going towards the mid angle. Rosa, oh dearie me, gets 2 kills. Churro with the Bucky as well. Peeks out the smoke in the best possible time. It all down to Bunny now by herself. 4 players fell in the blink of an eye. Oh, Riv, what a shot! Clean shot onto Bunny. 13-2. Just when you think Sanguine, they were surviving and they were holding on. Poggers, they strike right back and deny them of anything. They are brutal. Well, guys, there you have it. There's this best of 1 currently for Sanguine versus Poggers. 13-2, going away with Poggers. Very convincing game. Rosa top fragging with 23, 6 first bloods, by the way. Osicat and Churro, double digits. Not far behind. But, well, what can you really say about that game? Sanguine, they weren't prepared for the aggression of Poggers on the defensive side. And that sums it up, really. We will be going for a short breather, just while I get the next game set up. I'll have to check the bracket to see what it is. But, guys, don't go away just yet. There is still yet another round robin, or perhaps it's the grand finals now at this point. Let me just check real quick. Which channel is this? There we go. The challenge. I should probably update this on my bot as well. Oh, yep, that's done. It will be the grand finals next and the bronze match that may be played. I'm not too sure. Anyways, guys, short breather. I'll figure out what's going on, and we'll come back real soon.
right.
Well,
So,
guys,
Empress-
first off, apologies for the delay, but finally we are ready, and it'll be map 2 of the best of 3 between Poggers versus Sanguine. And right off the bat, we have Sanguine starting on the defense on Bind with Poggers on the attack.
Yeah, so not too bad. Oh, I got those ones wrong then. That's okay. I'll fix that one towards later. That must be my bad. But yeah, so you're saying Poggers won the first one 13-2. Were they just running rampant on Ascent and not much fight from Sanguine?
Absolutely rampant like rabid dogs. Sanguine, they weren't prepared to deal with the aggression flat out. That's all I can say. Poggers, at the very start of the game, they took instant control and they're just dashing non-stop. And Sanguine, they didn't know what was going on. Before you knew it, Poggers already takes sight. They swing around, get the kills, and it's done and dusted.
Damn, that is insane from there. Mine was a little more methodical from there. So Bind actually was a little bit early, sort of showing. You saw the 4-1 sort of scoreline nice and early, and then afterwards from there the 6-1, a little bit of a split, and then they just couldn't manage to get their rhythm from there. A lot of them were the aim fights; they were just not winning. Some of them were actually having a good performance either side on the eliminators, but just not quite on par with the aim for Empress. By map 2, they were pretty much running rampant over the map, and they just couldn't do much from there. They also start off on a defense side for Empress, so that is not ideal at all for eliminators. So.
Eliminated.
Coming in here for last second. All right, so not too bad. You want to run us through these cheeky picks here, Digital, and see what is what?
Yeah, well, first off right now, as you can see on the right side for Poggers, you already have Osakat on the Astra pick. Not an agent that we've seen a lot currently in the OC competitive region, as for most leagues, she's still banned. It hasn't been that 2-week safe period yet for her to be actually, bug-free to an extent. But nonetheless, we will be seeing Astra first off, like the first time I've seen her at least in a competitive match. I'm suffering Osakat. She has prepped her team and herself with some cheeky lineups and utility placements. Of course, Rosa with the breach as well, a very deadly agent. In fact, if we notice right now on the side of
love you, man.
on the side of Poggers, yeah, it's a full aggressive flash composition. 2 on Bethany, 3 on Rosa, 3 I think on Churro, and Osakat. Well, no flashes, but very strong utility. So essentially, that Astra is going to be a second breach. I'm very excited to see what Poggers can bring into this matchup, especially with their utility on the attack side.
Definitely, indeed. Yeah, you can see you're going to bring the Sunnies out there for the Sanguine side. Phoenix, Sky, Breach. That is plenty of flashes in hand. I believe 8 as a total, and technically 1 half flash coming through from Astra's side. No fear for them either. Running towards the guarded side all the way up. And now they're out towards the B side. They're going to put the pressure on for that Killjoy util. The turret trying to do quick work, but only spotting the info. They know they're already on B, and they're calling for the comrades to come by and get this retake under wrap. Joy trying to take the fight for the dog, stalling them as hard as they might. They still have over control here, but so far no exchanges just yet. Just lots of damage either side. Joy stalling as hard as she can. That plant is down, however, and the retake is on.
Yeah, the really clean, aggressive side take by Poggers, as you've expected to see, and having Sky as well. Instant AoE, team heal, everyone is basically to full health in lieu of the breach, and already the initial pick good from Joy, but however, the kills just don't seem to be trading back right now for Poggers. There you go, Osakat finally one onto Bunny, and she's getting a little bit panicked at this point, and it's just absolute chaos on site as Sanguine. They do have the advantage, all down to Osakat now by herself, no utility placed just yet, not as far as I can see on the map, and the DP is coming through, and Katie is sticking at Osakat now in a 1v2, can't quite get the second headshot, ends with 3 kills, but the spike, she bought enough time, oh it's half defused, and Sanguine, they will be able to get this, oh! Oh, potatoes. 0.9 seconds. What can you say?
You would be gutted from that. Oh, they had it all right. They even got the trade. They stuck the half and 0.09. That is disastrous. Poggers win it just barely.
Yeah, look, that round, it started off really well for Poggers, and things started to fall apart just a little bit at some point because they were playing too split up and not quite perhaps expecting the re-aggression on the retake. But nonetheless, they did take the round. Everyone died though as a result. But same play again coming up from Poggers, gearing up for the B split.
Oh, no fear from them. They do have the weaponry this time around, so it should be easy breezy on the B site. Not much Killjoy util either. Good smokes, good setup, and they're already out. No one there to contest. They can't really risk it for Sanguine. They're just going to see if they can't fight for the retake later. Even the ult coming out for Astra? Round 2?
Round 2?
Madness. Maddening.
Oh my god.
How did she stitch? I mean, she got a 3k plus the orb that on the plant as well. That is 6. Damn. That is a bit sweaty indeed. And now they're already out for the B site. No exchanges just yet. We'll see how far the retake can go. The Flash is trying to make quick work of the recon bolt, but Bethany and Rosa still locking it down. Wobble from Churro, and they just cannot get anywhere with this. The smokes are dissipating, and there's so far not much to be had. Bethany, Rosa mopping up a flawless hold in a post plan for Poggers life as they win 2-0.
2-0 really fast, and this is honestly the exact same thing I saw from game 1 on Ascent. Poggers, their aggression, it just goes unchecked, and Sanguine just aren't quite ready to deal with it. And once again, you see Sanguine, they're playing a reasonably meta composition. Granted, the duelists can be exchanged to an extent, but they're playing very standard and true to form. Meanwhile, you're seeing on the side of Poggers, just mad aggression, flashes everywhere. It's a very, I wouldn't say unethical, but unexpected composition as well. The Astra utility, the instant ultimate in round 2, Sanguine, they were definitely afraid and weren't quite sure what to expect. Once again, another B split from Poggers, and it's the same 2 players of Sanguine on the B side. Potato, things may be rough.
So we go here. Surely up to round 3 is sort of stacked towards the B side, but now they do have the full buys in hand. This could be a different showing. The rotate's already there. They're going to do the same take again. They can't really risk, you know, instantly retaking, especially with these setups. They are very precarious, and it's really hard to take those ones. Maybe the elbow aggression, but so far not to be had. Spike is down. Retake is on 5v5. Not much for an exchange-wise, but they do have elbow. They do have the close sight. They're just waiting for these lineups to keep the pressure going along. Katie, ready with the flashes in hand, but of course the counter flashes are immediate from Sky. Riv gonna lock it down and get the quick pick onto Churro. No pressure's on going through. And the flash in hand, they cannot get anywhere. Nothing is working for Sanguine, and it's another flawless round for Poggers. 3-0. They're stomping ahead slowly.
Yeah, look, it is ridiculous. Like I said, unchecked aggression, Sanguine, they just don't know how to deal with it. They have Sova on small with the recon arrow as utility, but perhaps maybe the synergy and the timing isn't quite there, because once utility flies out, especially from Katie with the Leers, everyone has to swarm onto the site and just get the trades going. If you use utility and it gets destroyed and no one is daring to push, that's pretty much already the retake lost. Your back is already against the wall with the spike ticking it away, and now this time, for the first time, we are seeing Poggers go for the A site. That's a 5-stack as opposed to B.
Here's a bit interesting. He's calling the agent related from these picks. It is a bit odd, but we'll see what is happening from this core. Small gonna get the quick pick onto Riv. Get the man advantage. Bethany evening the score. Down to a 4v4 now, but they're out on the A site. This time a change of pace. How far can they go? Not too far. So far, these trades are working okay for Sanguine. All things considered, not much weaponry available. If Joy gets this pick, things are going to be very scarce and scary for Poggers' life. Plant is down, and retake is on.
Yeah, look, Sanguine, they had inferior guns, but they still managed to juke around the angles and make the best of what they had, and that resulted in taking down 2 players of Poggers. But now Joy, with the Sheriff, you do have half armor and 1 kill off of having the run it back, provided that she can land her shots, getting a single kill initially and then popping the ultimate. It will give them a 1-man advantage compared to what we're seeing right now, but the gun advantage is not favoring them, and the spike is sticking away. Time is not on their side. Sanguine, you gotta step it up right now.
They definitely do. Joy getting a quick pick, but it's down to 1v2 now. Katie all alone, trying to pick up the pieces, but Aussie Cat is mopping her up. Yet another round going for Poggers' life.
Oh, no way. You know what I just realized? I think Osicat retrieving her utility at the end of the round, she actually gets it back. That's crazy. That's money that's money and value that she's retrieving at the end of a single round.
I didn't realize that one, because they can set up most of those ones, like a little bit util wise. Like for instance, you can't get back, I believe, Cypher's cages after the round starts, or Killjoy's swarms, or even the alarm bot technically after the money goes from that round. So that's a bit older they went through from there, but we'll see what happens this time around. Good counter flash coming through. No fear from Joy. Can use that ult and small the man advantage and a quick trade as well. Good exchange from Sanguine. Could be their turn to tip it around. 4v3, make it a 3v3 as Riv will clean up onto Joy. Knows one's hookah, but will she predict this close angle?
The gun barrel.
Oh, they spotted the barrel. Oh, that is unfortunate, Small. Oh, no. Down to a 3v2 now. They're out on the B site. The pressure's on for Spunny and Strawberry. They're not quite down yet, but they're just trying to stall as hard as they can to get this retake going.
Yeah, the retake, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. They do have a bunny with the Killjoy turret. It may reveal the position of Bethany at least, but the instantaneous reposition off of destroying the utility. And look, utility is being pumped down as we speak from Astra as well. It's a smoke, it can be a stun, it can be a suck, wherever it is, right? It's good that the last two players of Sanguine are going buddy, but the problem is, they don't have any flashes to work with, so they are going to have to peek dry with barely any smokes. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but as long as they can isolate the 1v1s, it's possible.
Oh, good. Smokes going through, trying to isolate them. Ossicat the first two fall. Bunny will clean up on that, but Bethany holding on to site, strong as ever. A 5-0 now. Poggers life. Oh man, that was actually a really good retake from there. That's really good smokes. Hookah was cut off, cleaned up onto Ossicat, but they just didn't predict the two on site. They're getting close for Sanguine, but it's just like, again, like, it is unfortunate not quite getting these aim factors in there.
Yeah.
But it means they really need to predict them, because currently Poggers Life have a really heavy Pug sort of comp lined up, and they just need to predict, hey, they're swinging wide. Like, they're predicting these retakes, they let them have sight, they play methodical, elbow and stuff, but they need to realize they are going to be stomping everything. They're going to be in all these cheeky, cheesy angles so they can stitch some kills together. So, a little more awareness of these close fight angles, and then they might have a good chance to get some rounds here. Still 5-0, still early days. But the pressure's on yet again. The Sheriff's in hand, and they're spamming ults for Poggers Life. I don't know what we can do with this one, but we'll see what happens. Ripper the first, Churro with a follow-up, and they have shut down that B hole just like that. Down to 2v5 now. And I don't know what more they can do in this round. Riv gonna mop up Bunny, blind through the smoke, and Joy all alone, stuck in a 1v5 back of Fountain. And they're fanning out, trying to hunt her down as well.
Yeah, I was going to say in the previous round, actually, which we'll talk about in a moment, because Joy is going to get swung by Bethany off of a curveball. Great game sense and flawless round, 6-0. Now, going back to my previous line of thought, in the previous round, we actually saw Sanguine with rifles go really aggressive out B. They got a few kills, and they had the man advantage in their favor. And then things went downhill from there, because B-Long was already taken by Poggers, and then the trades just weren't coming out. They had the man advantage. They had two players inside Hookah, but I do think it was a Joy and Small just not playing together, and as a result, it became two 1v1s for Riv. She gets the kills, and then the round goes in the favor of Poggers. Now, in the previous round as well, Poggers, they invested, what was it, 3 ultimates just to take the site? It was expensive, but they have money to work with nonetheless, and they have a 6-round buffer.
They're also on a half-buy for Sanguine, so it wasn't exactly the best scenario, because now they got 4 ults off the back of it. They could definitely win this round here on this retake, but they just have to get these early picks to stop these pushes going through. Bethany's going to put the pressure to the test. Stomping on through towards elbow side. Gonna try and fight and swing all these angles. No fear from her. Can't get this quick pick, but only gets the damage. Joy will mop up onto Churro, however, and solidify the A flank around. But now the counter ults are gonna come out. The Empress in hand, the lockdown as well. Let's see how far they can go, but they're just gonna stall them. Oh no, the Killjoy lockdown's destroyed. What happened there? Oh, Riv is flanking through here. Rosa as well, pancering them. Bit by bit, playing off each other to perfection. Bethany gonna swing on the elbow yet again as Joy is stuck now alone in a 1v2. This has to be a clutch and a half to make this one work. They really need this round, Sanguine, before there's too many slipped away and they can't stitch them. Lots of shoulder. The left side definitely paying off and just gonna wall herself off and try and bait out the angle. Calling the elbow, but Ossicat is calling the fake. Oh no. The big brains either side. Now that wall is done, and Joy is just going to have to go for the stick. And she already knows it. 7-0. Poggers Life are stomping ahead.
Oh, look, Sanguine, they they had the appropriate utility as well. Unfortunately, Joy still expected the last player, Ossicat, towards elbow, not really bothering to check long. And, you know, as a result, she could have probably stuck the defuse off of that flame wall, because even if the suck came through from Ossicat, Joy would have still been hidden. Maybe halfway, it would have been the best
damage.
Bet. She managed to isolate the two players into two separate 1v1s, just couldn't quite get the game sense check on the final player. As a result, 7-0.
Yeah, the other thing is that Killjoy ult as well, that wasn't really placed very well. You place it right back in the corner because it's hard to warbang at either side, and then, of course, keep them going along from there, but they just sort of let it crumble with it immediately. 7-0, slow and steady, seeing how far they can go with this one. Not many kills favoring their way, and they're stuck on eco buy yet again for Sanguine. They're almost at the point where they just have to start forcing them just to get some rounds on the board. But we'll see what happens this time around. Small gonna get the first from Chura, not quite clear in the corner. Strawberry gonna get picked up from Rib, but Ossicat a pre-fire onto her. Down to a 3v4 now. One from Pipes, one late, and one from Heaven. Plant is down, retake is on. And so far, they really can't make this one work. Ossicat still has a smoke to spare. And gonna single them out towards this pipeline here. Turret gonna try and get the info, but it's spammed away before it can do much good. They know they're all stuck back pipe side now. They're just gonna try and burst on through. Joy with the first big trade. But Bethany gonna lock it down, and Ossicat gonna clean up onto a fully blinded KD. 8-0 for Poggers Live.
Yeah, Potato, look, at this point, Poggers Life, just unchecked aggression time and time again. They rush onto a site, they get the kills, and they are good at getting the trades as well off of their teammates. In that round, we saw Churro just run blindly onto the A side after flashing herself, and she gets executed from the side. But Ossicat knew what happened, and Churro probably called it, and Ossicat was already there with the pre-fire. The instant kill onto Strawberry, and Sanguine, time and time again, they aren't able to take side control on the retake. They aren't able to leverage their utility in their favor, and it's all the kills going the way of Poggers.
Yeah, that one was unfortunate. They were on an eco buy. Not much you can do from the holds there and the retakes, but you need to just try and play off each other. Currently, they're just running red, but out aiming them at every turn. So far, not to be had. Oh, Small. Both are vulnerable and cannot try and capitalize on that fact. 4v5 now, good retake position, upper side, and of course close ramp. But they have to make this one work. Bunny will do just that, cleaning up onto Chura, extending too wide. Now evens the score down to 4v4. Good setup for the util, trying to clear these close angles. And now they can try and strike on through. Joy the first to keep the distance going. Pressure's on for Rosa, trying to find this quick pick, but Joy flash in hand, peeking too wide. Bunny gonna get the trade regardless. Down to a 3v3, they know there's at least two towards garden side here. But they have to push through that smoke and get these kills on them so they can try and stick this defuse.
The spike, it's going to be defused halfway at least, but it doesn't matter because the utility stack from Poggers, it just wasted so much time, and they gave time as well for Poggers to get into position to finally mop up the kills. 9-0 for Potato. It's just, this is brutality. It's domination.
It is brutal indeed. They even had a smoke from Brim to try and cover up the ult. Apparently some more insight for these matches here. Poggers Life, big meme in it from the last game. The reason why they have 3 different duelists and lots of flashes is they were playing a bit of strat roulette. Managed to get this pick from that one. And otherwise, my predictions, 1,000 points for Poggers and 50 points for Sanguine, so that is rightfully so, but man, they're just not playing off each other for Sanguine. I'm not seeing a whole lot of it. So we'll see what this time around is. Good gamble stack coming through, but oh no, they are too close. And Rosa, it is just going to be all so easy. Joy finding 2 kills somehow. 3 kills actually. A 4K. Joy, okay. Stitching it together, making it work. The pressure's on for Bethany to try and mop this one to go for that bullet take. Finds the first quick pick onto Strawberry, but where are the remaining 2? They know 1 is pushed all the way through. They know that ult was activated back on bathroom side. No, don't do it, Small. Don't feed her. Oh, the swingy. The gun was in hand. The opportunity was there, but now it's just down to a 1v1. You don't want to be given that opportunity. The flank around from Joy could catch her off guard, however. This could be their saving grace for Sanguine.
Yeah, but Sanguine, there you go. The teleport, Joy probably didn't see it coming to an extent, and this is good. But on the flip side, Bethany no armor, no curveballs, only hot hands and flammables to work with. On the flip side, Joy, you have the run it back available, and that's the instant advantage going her way. But it just depends how close she decides to use it, or use it at all at this point. And she's ringing around the rosy between these two Phoenixes. Joy has made herself on site, and could honestly just stick the defuse at this point, because Bethany is going to play the long con, expecting Joy to still be on a rotation from defender spawn. The timing just isn't right. And we do see Joy now actually clearing the long angle, expecting
the
Bethany
run it back.
to be playing
very good
towards
indeed.
elbow.
Just has to stick the half. That's all she has to do. That is a very good round indeed. Can't quite go the full Joy. That's not the timing out works. Gets a damage over onto Bethany, but she reads that ult play, knows it's coming from guard side, trying to spot them out. Bethany peeks undercover, and there was no time left over regardless. 10-0 for Poggers life. Oh man, that was actually very close indeed, but yeah, again, Small taking that 1v1, you can't be doing that. You have to play with your team. You have the spike in your hand, and you're sitting there trying to swing on the bathroom solo? I don't know what the plan is.
Oh.
Anyway, 10-0. They are stomping ahead here. They don't get these last 2 rounds, Sanguine. We can kiss this series goodbye, and Poggers will be through to that grand final to face up against Empress. Because this is quite dire from them. Oh, there you go. Unaware Churro, not quite pre-fire on the angle. That will be punished. Man advantage now for Sanguine. And they're going to put the pressure on for the B site. Put the test on for Small and, of course, Killjoy. Bethany versus Strike. Going to get a quick pick onto Small. Bunny, stuck on site. Has to try and stall for her team so they can retake successfully.
And the retake is actually very possible for Sanguine, because Bunny is still holding on to the Killjoy lockdown. All they need are the players and the bodies to be available for the retake. But as you can see, on the flip side, on the attacker side actually, the Orbital Strike is still available. So the instant that Killjoy lockdown comes down, Orbital Strike should be coming out to destroy it, and it won't give them that much of a positioning. And just as I speak of it, there you go, Riv, Orbital Strike, may even catch a player off guard, not quite just yet, but the retake from Sanguine hampered a little bit, and they are a man up.
Ooh, slow and steady, clearing that close angle. That is 2-man advantage now as Bayri catches out Riv. They know that one is towards guard side. Bethany the flash in hand, a mistake at that. And then Osicat usually loves his hookah play. Has been spotted. Gets the first quick pick onto Bayri, but I believe the half was stuck. They just have to stall and fight her off the angle. She's trying to wallbang it off, but cannot find the lineup. Sanguine are on the scoreboard, folks. 1-10.
Last round.
Yeah, they're starting to show some signs of life, but once again, same question I posed in map 1 Ascent. Is it too little too late to make up for 9 rounds and provided, okay, let's assume that Sanguine wins the second round of the first half, to make up 8 rounds back to back, because once this is reset, you're back on pistols, everyone's on an even footing, and Poggers, on the defensive side, they may not play defensive, they may just go straight aggressive and just frag out, kill Sanguine before they can even push a site. Well, Potato, it's the last round of the first half, and on the attacking side, Poggers, they have the ultimate economy advantage. Bethany to run it back, and Churro with the Seekers. We could be seeing a repeat of what they did previously. Ult spam on to take the B sites.
Oh, we'll see. We hope not. Hopefully they can try and make this one work. KD caught out and is coming off the angle. Actually stalled the first quick push and catching out the runner back, but Riv will get the main advantage. Make that one more. She cleans up on the KD. Flashing through immediately, catching out Churro. But Rosa is there with the trade. They're both playing such aggressive angles for Poggers, and rightfully so. They are completely stomping them. Rosa running through the smoke again. And now it's down to Bunny all alone. Stuck back elbow side in a 1v4, and they are headhunting her. They're not letting her have any wiggle room in this fight. And Rosa just has to hold onto the wall. Bunny actually wins the exchange. But a 1v3 stuck at the opening of it. They're just going to try and spam on through to clean up. Blind through the smoke as Osicat finds the headshot. 11-1. Poggers life are 10 rounds ahead on the first half.
Switching sides.
Sanguine.
It's dire. It is dire indeed. Like, you have a little bit of leniency, so like you don't have to win all the rounds in a row to get 10 to tie it up. Obviously with the 2 10s a bit different. But you do have the leniency of like 1 round, but like 5 rounds and 6 rounds is almost impossible for them just to make that one work. They have to win this pistol if they have any chance at all, because if they don't, they'll have no money left into the second buyback, and then of course Poggers life will be closing it out there. But they haven't shown much to be taking these fights. They had that one good round when they managed to retake it, and a couple other clutch scenarios, but it is just disastrous for them. So far, not much luck at all.
Poggers Life, that final round, like I told you, they had the ultimate advantage going into it, and they just took the site really cleanly, and not much really to be said there. Of course, the hero of that round, the Astra, having the divided wall again, and will win them the round. And now, the side takers coming out for the B side, 4 players out towards long, the initial trade out, but there are still a man down going aside of Poggers.
Oh, Rosa evens a score down to a 3v3. It was a good exchange towards long side for them. Still yet again holding on 2v2 now for Sanguine. They're trying to push on through towards this opening on ramp. They do have a bit of time now. Ossicat's out, but they just have to try and find this quick tap, get the 2v1, and now they win the fight. Riv in a 1v2 to fight for map point, series point. Otherwise, might be caught out here. Oh, the turret wasn't set up. It was set up for the close ramp angle, but they're both watching it now. Bunny playing the close angle, trying to bait them in, but of course the shoulder has been swung. Katie will save the day. There is a small ray of sunshine for Sanguine as they win the pistol and go 2-11.
Yeah, Poggers in that round, 2 things they didn't do quite well was it came down to a 2v2, right? But instead you had Ossicat pushing site solo by herself to engage essentially a 1v2 because you saw Katie and Bunny just holding the same angle. There's no way Ossicat would escape that situation alive, get 1 kill ideally and leave Riv in a 1v1. It just didn't happen to swing that way. But on the bright side though, Riv almost had the 1v2 isolated into 2 1v1s, but almost got the kill onto Katie as well, I think. There was a dink, but Katie being Reyna off of a single overheal, she will be able to tank it and survive.
Indeed. So, not too shabby for them. A bit of exchange either way. A bit of a bathroom fight. Riv gonna get caught out here. Oh no, not quite deep enough. Just barely misses the corner. Now she's gonna be tucked away there. And they're gonna think that angle is nice and clear for the taking because they just swarm it, but hopefully they have a little bit of awareness for it. The bathroom push as well is so aggressive from Poggers. They have no fear for them. Good thing from Joy, going to get out the first, and the flash as well. That should be an easy transfer and done just like that. Now they can burst that on towards the A site and put the pressure on for them. The Small gets one more onto Churro. This is looking promising for Sanguine as they keep on moseying on through for this A take. Missing the ding on the Rosa, but that's okay. It's a 2v4. That plant is down, and that retake here is almost under wrap. Bethany spotting out the alarm bot, and now they know that they're close lamps. Rosa still stomping through this heaven push. It's slow and steady for them. They're just trying to get on the side here and cancel off those angles. Fantastic flash. Catches out 2. As Bethany will get yet another trade. Down to the 1v1. The flash in hand as she gets whittled down. She's just going to try and stick as hard as she can. But that swarm is definitely going to be her undoing. She has to swing up the angle. Down to 59 HP. The exchange is there. But the dink is happened. She gets that map point. That series point for Poggers Life. And oh boy, things look grim for Sanguine.
It was off of the skin of their teeth that Poggers they managed to take that round back. Sanguine, they had, what was it, like a 4v2. They shouldn't have lost that round. But it was great utility usage from Rosa with the 2-second flash points. She managed to flash, I think it was 3 players with a single flash. Gets the initial kill onto the one holding at bench. And actually did manage to spot out yet another player playing default on site. Couldn't quite get the spray transfer, but nonetheless, even the numbers up for Bethany to finish the job. Bethany in the previous game on Cypher had a quiet game, and she's known for playing a duelist, and as you can see now on Bind, playing Phoenix, she's much more in her nature.
Indeed. So, he knows that rhythm going through. They counter flashing towards a long take here, and no one to punish. Oh no, that is not ideal at all. Down by 10 rounds. You have to win 10 in a row just to force overtime, just to maybe force the win to force map 3. Things look almost disastrous. Actually, they are disastrous for Sanguine. And now, hopefully, they can try and make this round work at the very least. Good take coming through. Joy's managed to slip on through for Bathroom as they're fighting towards back of Sands. It's going to be a B split last second as Joy will probably teleport there. Unless, oh, she's calling out the info that A is open for the taking, but I don't think she'll be wary of the wrap around. Oh, they spot each other. She knows A is free as anything, but they have to catch out Brim, who's close up on the angle. Riv will get one, but Katie with the trade. They have the A site wide open. Joy just has to find this pick on a close angle, but it's too far gone as Rosa has the superior little tucked away corner. They go straight back towards B. It's ring around the Rosie, and they'll see if they can't try and mosey on through for this site. 22 seconds left on the clock, and they're stalled back of Hookah. The smoker's already there. How far can they go with it? Oh no, they're ticking it down. It is the red zone for them. And they are just stalled back of Hookah. They have to flash out, but there's only one available. The Empress has been activated. This is their last hope for them. Try and make this one work, but it is too far gone. There is nothing Small can do now, as it is gone. GG's, as Poggers Life are through to the grand final to face up against Empress.
Yep, Poggers Life once again. Aggression is the name of their game. 13-2. They just pushed and pushed and pushed. Sanguine, same story again. We weren't seeing so much aggression coming out from them. The one time that they did show aggression and was pushing out a B, they got a few kills, almost had the match in their favor, but overall, just the high quality of players on Poggers. Even if when it's down to Bethany, when it's down to Ossicat, they could essentially turn any situation into a clutch situation and bring it the way of Poggers. 13-2 Potato. Not really more I can say about that, but Joy, great job on her. A shining little beacon for Sanguine.
And Bunny as well, actually keeping on par with all things considered. But Katie needed stepping up with those duelists, and probably Strawberry as well. Not too hard, and it's really hard trying to stitch this one together. They did start off on... No, they started off on defense side, didn't they? Yeah, and they just couldn't hold on for those and get those retakes under wrap. And the timeline, as you saw, 10 rounds in a row before they managed to turn one. It is not ideal in the slightest.
Well, Potato, that's this game done and dusted. Then we should be moving into the grand finals after a short break, I would imagine. Empress, they're probably watching and trying to get a heads up on what they're up against, Poggers Life. So people in the chat, Empress, I know you're here, so do be ready. Guys, we should be going for a short breather while we get the graphics and everything set up for the grand finals. It will be Empress versus Poggers in the Lenovo Legion of Valkyries. See you guys soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of the Lenovo Legion of Valkyries. I am DigitalQF, and that man above me is Potato Fries. He took the first shift, and I'm taking the last shift. Well, actually, we're both doing the last shift for the grand finals. And Potato, it's been a long night, but finally we're here. Poggers Life versus Empress Gaming.
Oh yeah, it is big sweats indeed. Throughout this tournament, we have 6 teams enter for the Legion of Valkyries. It is ladies only, of course, ready to split up into Valorant. First rounds we saw, which was none other than, let me just go to that bracket real quick. Eliminators beat Villains BDE squad 13-3. Sanguine beat Jiggly Peaks 13-11. Empress beat Eliminators 2-0. Poggers Life beat Sanguine 2-0. And we are here now with the grand final between these two. A best of 3 at that. And we'll have to see what these teams have to go and show. We have known that Empress are the remaining champs for the last few remaining defenders. So we'll see what they have, if they can keep it up for the pace here on these different maps. Now, over towards the Veto side here. First one was a ban from, of course, Poggers Life. They banned Icebox. The next ban was Haven from Empress. They picked Ascent, then Bind, and then the finale map will be split. So first up, Ascent with Empress on the defense.
And right, there you go. Well, guys, the teams are ready. We're gonna slap the R button, and we can get into map 1 right away.
Map 1 should be damn good indeed. I haven't seen Empress today. Ascent today. Seen lots of binds to split. And I think that was pretty much it for the most part. We didn't really get to go for the whole shebang for these next sets. But Ascent, a little bit interesting for these ones. We know how sharp Empress can be. But of course, Poggers Life definitely have what it takes as well to make this one going. A lot of it's going to come down to these mid-fights, trying to pinch them in there and seeing if they can't try and dilute them and keep them away from their cover bits. And lots of times for Ascent, you tend to see a fair few fakes, not as much as you like to see on otherwise Haven, where you keep running around the map, but a fair bit of methodical stuff. Usually A is pretty fair game. Over towards these picks here, on defense side here on Empress, locking the Sova, the Omen, think about that Raze, that Killjoy, and the Reyna. Very good clash up altogether from those. Otherwise, on defense, a bit more traditional. The Cypher and Bethany, Rosa with the Jet. Also, you can't think about actually locking in the Sage. Churro, possibly the Brim, and we'll have to see what Rib is feeling. Most likely going to be a Reyna or a Killjoy, just to fill in all those ults.
Well, Potato, I don't know about you, but I've already seen one Ascent game for tonight. And let me tell you, Poggers Life, they are an absolute force to be reckoned with. They go aggressive, and they just swarm into a site, not letting the defending team get anything done. Asukat as well, I want to point out, straight MVP with her Sage utility. Map 1 that when she played against Poggers, no, not Poggers, what was the other team? Sanguine on Ascent. She used her utility to perfection. The timing and the Sage slow orbs, it just, even though Sanguine, they were getting stomped, the utility from Asukat made things even worse. The slow orbs and the walls, it just denied so much positioning and aggression. But nonetheless, this is Empress we're talking about. And Potato, tell me, what is Empress like?
Ooh, Empress. Damn, they are very hard indeed. They know a whole lot of retakes, and of course, have impeccable aim up against these ones here. We've seen a good showing coming through from Poggers Life here, but Empress did win 13-4, then 13-2. Very clean takes from there. They really didn't have the aim factor on the other side there. So we'll see what happens this time around. Of course, those Killjoy ults definitely going to be proving useful for those retakes and the different offense takes, but I'd be looking out for probably the Raze over here in the hands of none other than Shady. Very sharp and very quick to go with those breach charges.
Oh, yeah, can I also just shout out our lovely observer who's doing the camera work for us tonight, Crash OBS. You can follow him on Twitter. He is the premier observer in OCE, and this is him helping us out so we can have an easier time talking. Well, right off the bat, aggression coming out from the side of the defenders. Shady with the Roomba will detect at least one player out towards A-line by Osakat. This is really aggressive. We should be seeing a Sage will come out off of the curveball, or the aggressor onto site. It won't be a curveball, but rather a smoke, and there we go. This is Poggers with the signature aggression. They swarm onto A, and now Empress, they will have to regather their thoughts. All 5 players, 5 on 5, to slowly go for the retake. Utility, however, is available to them, namely that Sova Recon Arrow, which did get used earlier, didn't actually scan anyone, but nonetheless, they have flashes and other utility to work with. Rosa isn't quite aware the 2 players have already made it far up, trying to spam away, get some headshots, but the man advantage isn't favoring her right now, and one at a time, the players of Poggers are falling. Rainbow Bunny finishes with 3 kills, really clean retake, only losing 2 players for Empress.
You failed. Now flee.
Well done indeed. Very clean take from there, holding on strong for them. That was actually a pretty good push as well through the A take. The only real scenario sort of had outcome from those is they did manage to shut the door, but the immediate break from it is always a pretty much given. They didn't have any info towards Tree to try and justify locking the door and then leaving it, because they were just spamming and tapping their toes across that one. But once they get on site, trying to play the open heaven angle there isn't exactly ideal. Big post plants are definitely preferred. Under heaven, jiggling generator, or the close triple box to try and be a nuisance and stall them as long as you can.
Empress, they already won the initial pistol round, and they will be going for a full SMG buy right off the bat. But once again from Poggers, this is really good. They're picking up the ult orb, and they force right back at him. They managed to get this spike planted, so it's $300 extra per player to work with. Poggers, again, edging over towards A, and looking to do a similar take from the previous round. Shady this time, with Pink to hold down the forts. They should have some awareness. There you go, the smoke and the curveball again. The exact same take. Deja vu. Shady pulls out the paint shells just to do some damage. Nothing quite much to come out of it, but the plant is down, and another 5v5 post-plant retake situation. Crash is going to have an aneurysm, but if history has shown us anything, Empress, they are very proficient on the retakes. This time that Recon Arrow will scan a few players. Zara with the Lear should be able to initiate for her team, and they are being held back at bay just a little bit longer. But Churro, no, gets caught with the pants down. Pink pushes right aggressively onto site, and it's just back and forth. But we do see Poggers Life manage to tie things up 2-on-2. Bethany playing aggressive through that cyber cage, takes down 1, and now down to the last 2 players. Osakat has a long angle, and oh no, Artemis ran out of bullets, had to resort to using the classic. And the pistol versus an SMG, the faster gun, the bigger gun always wins at the end of the day.
Oh, not much to be had from there. Managed to stall them up, tying the scoreline immediately. Definitely a hard showing, but made it look easy for them. Now, this is going to be a little bit dire for Empress, because they're going to have no money in the bank. They're going to have to go for the full ego just to try and buy it back. Or, oh no, they're thinking about the force buy. Oh, that is disastrous for them, because they got so much money left over for Poggers. They can just wait out the long game. They can, even if they lose this one, they got money to buy the next. This could be an interesting showing.
But actually, Potato, even though they force right back, the overall quality of guns on both sides is relatively even. It doesn't help that Empress, they already lost a player early on, and that's double utility stack, or triple actually, all the way into the market angle, just a guarantee no player of Empress will be playing there. The door is closed, and this is a really fast and clean site take over towards B. Shady with the paint shell, looking to do damage. The lob is excellent. Churro, no armor, getting tagged down a little bit. There is a Sage available on their team, so I'm not too sure where the heals are. Zara, perfect with the flank, catches Osakat staring at Market. The numbers are all evened up, and oh, clean tap by Bethany. Crosshair placement has picked up a Stinger to work with. Shady now leading the charge for her team. With Rainbow Bunny, the duos, they start to take the sides, but Bethany with the spray down from B main does most of the heavy lifting and leaves the rest for her teammates to clean up. And they lost the pistol round, Potato, but Poggers Life, they're bringing it back. They take the lead by 1.
Yeah, indeed. So the 3K from, I believe it was Pink. Try and bring that one up there. No, actually Bethany, excuse me, managed to get on towards the site there. So now things are quite dire. They have to go for the eco here for Empress. They can't keep trying to risk these forces. Let them get a full buy. Let them get some money built up. And otherwise, see where they go from there. Almost building up some ult as well. Pink close. Rainbow Bunny locking it in. But the 2 ults locked and loaded for Poggers. Going to run rampant here.
Poggers Live, similar a story of aggression, but Rainbow Bunny this time holding a relatively safer angle, using the Hunter's Fury. Can't get anything as Shura just dives onto the site. As two players of Empress already 6 feet under, and where's the clapback? There's nothing. The defensive play currently on the B side from Empress has definitely not been able to stand the test of aggression versus Poggers. And Poggers is just still swarming for kills. Osicat already have the resurrection available and gets a triple kill at the end of the day. Flawless round from Poggers. Aggression non-stop, Potato. Empress, you said they were good, they're monstrous. But what I'm seeing right now is perhaps a shell of what you were describing.
Indeed so, indeed so. Hey, look, both of these teams stomped through pretty much flawlessly to get towards here. And it goes to show for these. But Empress, yeah, just to try and warm up across the board. They haven't had the full chance for the full buys. It is here and now. It was unfortunate. I don't know why Rainbow Bunny pulled out that ult. That is just not the play on an eco, but it is what it is. They look locked and loaded. Vandals in hand, full armor in hand. Let's see what can happen this time.
Oh, as you can see, Pink earlier got a kill, but also have the trade back and the resurrection. Won't have a rifle in their hands to work with. The runner back being used by Rip, pushing right through, and Shady being caught off guard. The same angle again. It's getting a little bit predictable, and Poggers, the story of aggression time and time again. You have 4 players standing. You have a Sage heal available. The runner back was used. It's gone, but now a full HP Phoenix back towards A main, holding the angle. Rosa drops that gun and will get exposed, but Artemis can't quite land his shots. Gets revealed by the camera dart as well. Doesn't have to fall back. That's a really long wallbang angle. Artemis by herself in the 1v4. Not much utility to work with, especially as Killjoy pulls at the pistol. Still manages to get the kill onto Osicat, but it's still a really tall task for her at hand. The last 3 players of Poggers is so split up. It's a crossfire of sorts, and Artemis, it's going to be even worse. And she gets tagged twice in a row now by that spy cam dart. A save should be in order. 1 more kill or death, and she will have the Killjoy lockdown available, which it is now for the next round. Empress, they're down by 3, but it's still early on, Potato. They have plenty of room to make catch up.
Oh, indeed so there. That one should have definitely gone a little bit more differently across the board. Swinging wide managed to work out. You know, good trade 1-to-1. Probably could have got a little more stitched together, but that's all right. But otherwise, not really trying to stop the site. They were just mad spamming the ults on the Poggers Life side just to get to there. That took them, what was it, 3 ults? The Res, the Phoenix, and I believe the Neural Theft as well, just to get out from there. So now they got nothing left to try and cash in, and they're just going to go for the half buy, try and bank them up again for Empress and see if they can't stitch it together. Seems to be they're just trying to warm up. This is, of course, Poggers Life pick, but they need to warm up a whole lot quicker, Empress.
Oh, Bethany trying to run away. Rainbow Bunny with the aggression. Spectre at that range as well. Great aim to land those headshots. Now, finally, this is what I didn't see coming out from Sanguine. Aggression on defense. As you can see right now, Empress, they're starting to pinch in the attackers. It doesn't matter because Poggers, they still aggress onto the A sites. Spike is going to go down. The man advantage, and also they also have the orbital strike. Riv, oh, great curveball. Catches out Artemis. Even has the hot hands and the playball to self-heal. The Sage is still alive as well. It doesn't even have to use utility. Zara on the flank, and Shura, a little bit of a delayed reaction there, missing a few shots. Rainbow Bunny feet is visible, and Shura just using the Molotov to buy a little bit more time. The trades aren't going in the favor of Empress. They are 1 man down, but however, like I said, Empress, the Arena Empress is available to use. Not that it matters now anymore, because it's down to 1v3 Zara. This may not be the time to use it. No Lears, and Rosa double picking with her teammate, takes her down with a clean shot to the head.
5-1, 4 rounds ahead. I don't know why they smoked off the Reyna there. The best bet would have been just to try and save that Vandal at that point. You know, 1v3, whether or not Ego is kicking in from there, there's just no way you're going to be trying to win out that one cleanly at all. So it's not really worth the fight there. But again, they're on the half buy this time around. Full buys. They do have these ults available for ready, locked, and loaded. Just gotta hope they can hold up a little bit better here. They have good positioning going through, and they eventually start to learn that, hey, they kind of have aim. We can sort of flank around and see if we can't try and pinch them into these corners here.
Poggers, once again, uncontested aggression. Rainbow Bunny, she's getting flanked, but great headshot initially onto Rosa. That is side, however, opened up. Spike going down. 4-on-4 for the retake, but the ultimates definitely do favor Empress in this situation. Killjoy lockdown, Empress is available, but Zara doesn't check her corners. The crossfire from Bethany and Osakat, they lock down B main and even have Market under control. Oh, Artemis, you had the Killjoy lockdown, and Churro blindly spraying at the turret will pick up the kill as well. Down to Shady and Pink. It's all on her now. It was too tall of a task. Riv ends the round with a triple kill and gains the runner back.
Oh, 6-1. This is a rough showing from Empress. This is not what we expect and what I saw from prior, where we're just running rampant. I will take out of these ones that they aren't the best on Ascent as a whole, but generally this is something else from there. Running into the smoke solo for Zara, not even using the flash. I know you got the Empress, but the flashes help single out those fights and take them off there. I guess she was just trying to get the quick pick onto the Sage, but you really got to predict on those when there's all 5 alive. There's definitely all these cheeky angles here. Need to be better playing off each other angles. They're just trying to swing on through, trying to get the extra advantage, and it's just not playing as a team. It's just letting them single you out in the 1v1s and eventually cleaning up.
Also, I want to say, Poggers, they've been playing, this is their 3rd map back-to-back, and their energy is still at insanely high levels to maintain this level of aggression. Osakat, what was that? Wall banging through, takes down Zara, and the runner back on Riv as well. Rainbow Bunny, her position is revealed, does get 2, and suddenly the push has been halted dead in its steps. But Riv, long distance, takes on Rainbow Bunny, and of course, Osakat with the Sage Resurrection. The Paranoia is good, gets walled off. Pink takes down 1 with the Spectre, sprays down 2, and it's back and forth. Finally, we could be seeing Empress take the lead here in this round. They have a man advantage and 3 ultimates. Need I remind you again, this is very much doable for them. But however, that distance, what was that? A shorty versus a Vandal? Come on, man. Pink now, so holding on to the Spectre. Not quite pinched from 2 angles at once. This is the onus is on her now to go aggressive and get a kill. So it doesn't become a 2v1 for mid supremacy. The spike is in vision, but 61 HP, 1 smoke to work with, and now the members of Poggers, they've grouped up together. Pink, you got 1 double spray down initially. Can you do it again? Slowly, they steal the spike, and Pink still hasn't been revealed just yet. Just patiently lurking from behind. But 10 seconds left. The spike is able to get planted by Rosa. Pink, this is a really tall mountain to climb. As you can see, a 1v2, 1 smoke to work with. Where do you place it to isolate the 2 engagements? No smokes out just yet.
She can try for that long take and just see if she can't pincer under heaven with the Paranoia, but oh, she's out of it. Probably smoke long and then otherwise under heaven just to jump down safely.
Oh, now this is rough because the last 2 players, Bethany, they heard the drop down. It's a crossfire already. Pink, it's 2 1v1s, but Bethany had the better crosshair placement. Instant shot onto Pink. Poggers, they still maintain a 6-round lead, Potato.
Oh, no, you had the extra smoke, Bethany. If you're going to go for that clutch, you have to use all of your util to make it work. Teleports, maybe not as a fake, maybe, but yeah, long smoke under heaven. When you do the under heaven smoke, it singles them out, and that means you can take the generator fighter on site or the little headshot bob angle. But jumping down on the half is also a big mistake. You either go all in or you jump out on the top and do the funny little hop. But 1-7, another full buy, another chance, and 4 ults. Hopefully they can cash them in, and hopefully they can try to stitch something together before it slips away too quickly.
I like the wallbangs coming up from Poggers. They're clearing every angle with due diligence, and Pink already tagged down so low. The Omen Shroud, it's good to cover positions, and this is a crossfire setup from the 2 defenders, Pink and Artemis. And Osakat with the Sage Wall is going to have to come down. Artemis now almost getting a triple there. Sprays down 2, but the instant trade back. It's a 3-on-3 for the site take, but the site, it's not quite clear just yet. Bethany is going to lead the charge. All down to Rainbow Bunny to try and lock the angle down, but Bethany was the one to land the headshot after all. Vandal supremacy. 1 shot to the head will finish the job. Play it shady. Runs right out. Style points takes down Rosa. It's still even Stevens. Oh, great headshot. And the paint shots will finish Bethany from beyond the grave. Shady wins the round for her team. And Zara was standing around confused. Where's the last player, Potato?
Zara was definitely looking for that boathouse, wondering if there's a 6th player hiding in the server ready to pop in, but not to be had. They are slowly stitching together. A little bit of hope come through. 2-7 now. A little bit unfortunate. You saw the alarm bot come for Artemis. You see those cheeky plays from Killjoys come out, where they put them around the corner. Once the alarm gets triggered, they swing and they just stomp because of the extra damage boost. Definitely were stitched 4 together, but they shot the alarm bot in the nick of time. It's not to be had, but a successful hold their time around stopping that B wrap. Now they've signaled them out towards this A take here, so that is pressure on for Bunny. If they spot the intel, they have to stall and wait for the rotate.
Revealing area.
Rosa, oh dear, you can't be missing the Sova recon arrow. I think Riv does get scanned, but it's not the end of the world. The only downside is, Empress, do you choose to play aggressive this round? Because this is your literal chance. Mid is ripe for the taking, and just as I say that, Poggers, they come back to mid and try to take position, but Shady, long distance, takes down Bethany. That's the flank routes open now for the attackers. Defenders are free to push. This could be a great pinch attack coming out from defense, as we see the attackers just get out of A and start to work towards B.
Ooh.
Zara pushed out mid by herself. The aggression, that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier, but it was a few seconds too late, however. Poggers. Numbers are even. Sage, no resurrection available as they work towards the B sites.
They're a bit split up here. If Omen can win this fight and single them out, that could be a round going in their favor. They've got the cavalry coming in. This should definitely be stitched together
30
here.
seconds left.
Riv, break Purple will at least get 1 kill. Looking for a second. Riv does pick up 2 after. Oh, that's the power of a duelist with curveballs and flashes. Rainbow Bunny on the trade back. Now there are a man down. Rainbow Bunny, there you go. Hunter's Fury, but it's aimed too low into the ground, won't actually pick up anything, and the spike wasn't even planted default either at the end of the day. Post-plant defense is very much possible, and now it's too easy because Rainbow Bunny peeks into a firing squad. They take her down. Poggers life, they're up by 6.
Oh man, I believe they're calling for a tactical as of right now. They definitely probably need it from there. Ascench, usually defense is a little bit easier. I've seen a fair few 6-all score lines, sometimes even some 7-5s, 8-4s, but usually favoring defense on the upper hand. This is not a good showing at all. It could be that ego factor that they've stitched, like, you know, a few maps together, a few series together for Poggers Life, and they're already warmed up, whereas they had a tiny bit of a break for Empress. Watching the show, keep it going along. On paper, these lineups, both sides are just fine, no worries there. Looking at the kills wise, you can see Shady, Pink, and Rainbow still stepping up to the plate a fair bit, but currently at the moment they do need Zara to try and get some quick work here, because it's just not happening at the moment. She's just not making them work at all, and that push towards that marker take for the last round, that should have favored them every single day. Pink, the 2v1 on them, and they just led them to 2 1v1s, and that's not ideal at all.
Yeah,
so
Zara
I'm not too
as
sure
well.
for them. They seem to be trying to fight these sites here early on. They're not really playing for the retake game. They're just sort of trying to stall them, play the insta retake and see how well it goes, but they're just not quite ready in position from there. The Killjoy, as soon as they go into site, pop that down, that lockdown, back of close CT, back of a tree, hold on to it for a bit, and then that should be a free retake at that. But yeah, currently holds aren't exactly the best. They could do a little bit better from those, but mainly the retakes seem to be lacking. So if it's on those, they should be able to get a few more rounds here before it gets two-way, because there's currently 2 rounds left on this first half. And if they don't get at least 3-9, it's going to be looking pretty grim for the next going.
Yeah, grim it is, but honestly, Potato, I'm really surprised to see Poggers still performing this well after everything. Zara, as you may know, they're calling a technical timeout because she has disconnected to perhaps fix her internet. And like you mentioned earlier, Zara being on Reyna as well, not getting too many kills for her on her side, it's not the best thing you want to see coming out of a duelist. Granted, you are on the defense, but at least using the Leers to clear space for your team to go for a retake on site, that is still a really good idea. And we're actually enjoying a really nice group picture coming out from the players on Poggers.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great little scans as well. It's getting each of them there. Playing paper, scissors, rock by the looks of it. I don't know who's winning because they keep doing paper, but, you know, they'll eventually get there. Yeah, seems to be disconnected and stuff, so just about to launch. Shouldn't be too much longer now. And yeah, I believe I talked about the predictions as well. Most people were repping that Poggers will be coming out on top here. quite significantly.
Wow.
For this one. This is their map pick as well, and seems to be that apparently Empress are just not warm because, mind you, they have won the last, I think, 2 or 3 Legion of Valkyries, almost the same as AGG on the hand of Rise of Legion. And currently, we're just not seeing the same Empress we usually are expecting. So this time, although good news for Poggers, they are definitely stepping up to the plate and ready for the challenge. But working on those retakes will definitely prove a whole lot useful, and Zara stepping up a bit will definitely be a key.
Oh, there you go with the fast take coming out again. The paint shells from Shady wasn't slightly on the late side. If she pegged it into the choke point, there would have been no pushes available. With the running back would have been destroyed. But nonetheless, that's in the past now. That's all theory crafting. The retake 4v5 is looking reasonably unlikely. That's a good shot dart, and the Sage Wall doesn't even save Rosa. And also Cat heals herself instead of her duelist. The Paranoia won't even catch anyone. Rosa, they line up for her as she bowls them down to Zara now by herself. The reconnected girl immediately goes down to Rosa with 4 kills. And Potato Poggers, they insist on maintaining their lead and dominance.
Oh, definitely so. They had, what, 7 rounds in a row before they disrupted, and now they're ready to stitch some more together again. Those plays were dirty. They had no fear at all. There was pure ego picks, literally walling each other to get the boost angle for those 2 quick picks. They should definitely trade those at the very least. Not much you can do with, of course, the egos in hand after the last round they were fully invested in. Full buys available now, but 4 ults locked and loaded up against their 2 isn't really taking their way.
Zara, she got 1 initial kill, but couldn't quite hit the dismiss button in time. Also, Cat, Sage Resurrection was there. So basically, it's not even a trade. It's just a man advantage going on the side of Poggers Life currently. Sure, holding down the orbital strike and pumps a dead plane onto site. Perhaps going towards market would have been the better choice, because as you can see right now, Empress, they are striking back, and this backside isn't clear just yet. Artemis, being such a pillar of defense, takes down 2. Sound Ossicat by herself. The Sage Res was invested this round as well. Down to a 1v3. Gets the initial first pick. This is good isolation, but Rainbow Bunny had the sharpest shot towards the end. Takes her down swiftly. Empress, they do pick up the 3rd round. They're still down by 6 though, and it's the second half already.
Ooh, yeah, down by 6, not good. You usually want to be up on defense side, and now they got an even harder mile to walk this next showing. So hopefully they can try and stitch this pistol together and keep them going along. They did get the 3 rounds minimum at least to try and make a good effort in here. We did see a little more warm-up coming through. Very good post-play positions. Around that entire first half, I don't think I saw a single Killjoy lockdown. So we should see a whole lot more this time around. Use them to take sites. Just back of A, back of B. Should be free sites for the taking, and then you keep going off the back of them. So winning this pistol, trying to get the early aggro. Zara eventually warming up there. Saw 1 kill, but probably should have got at least the double. But nonetheless, hopefully, better showing.
Yeah, back to your point as well of the Killjoy lockdowns. I don't really think that Empress actually had the opportunity to use it too often, because the aggression from Poggers Life, just still insisting on going for those aggro kills. It just puts the lockdown in a really dangerous situation. But this is good though. The Roomba from Shady, it doesn't detect Rosa. She is still unknown, and the Ghost getting taps to the back of the head. You want nothing less from her right now. Oh, it does get revealed, and Artemis 180s with the classic right click will take her down, and has utility out. Her pants are down, but the damage is all being done by Empress right now. The defense, and point blank, look Shady, the paint shells, just for good measure. I can't believe it. The Blaze of Poggers, you've been dying left, right, and center. Zara picks up Rev, the overheal coming out. Ossicat, point blank. You're gonna have to pinch, perhaps mark it with your teammate to get a kill. It doesn't matter, but Shady's already there. Now showing aggression. Empress, this is what we want to see to win the pistol. Bethany, 1v2. The Frenzy is a perfect gun to do this, because the players are currently split up. If she pushes now, oh, she may have gotten the kill, but Rainbow Bunny, the shock dart, brings Bethany down to 1. And then a simple love tap was all it took to finish the job.
Oh my god, there was so many fumbles. They went that pistol for Empress, but it was terrible both sides. You saw, you know, util in hand coming through. That missed shot from Rosa was the main thing, and then they managed to get the burst right from Artemis. Then the util in hand trying to clear the next corner. Then Shady throwing a grenade at someone point blank, and then Phoenix team flashing Brim. Oh man, it was disaster all across the board, but eventually came out on top there was Empress. They're going to be happy about that one. Managed to win the pistol, getting a bit of money and seeing if they can't try and buy back. But the force buy from Poggers, a bit bold, but they get this round. It'll be very brutal for Empress.
Rubber Bunny, I like this hold, and Oscat's playing really aggressive. It's a 1v2. No way she came out of that situation alive. The aggression from Empress just really... Wait, hang on. That's not Empress, it's Poggers on the defense. Poggers, the aggression early on, just really not paying dividends. Now, Riv by herself. Shady takes her down swiftly. Bethany, same story. The players of Poggers are falling one at a time, and Empress... This is their stride that they couldn't hit on the defensive side. Going aggressive, now they are on the attack. Rosa finally with in single clapback. The spike is going to be planted on the A sites, and the last two players of Empress are going to have to regroup and try to get some damage done. I mean, Pogger is going to have to regroup and get the damage done. But now the last two players, very low HP. And 2v3, I don't think this is really doable. Those shock darts, that's really interesting as well. Churro just eyeballing it really high. I'm not too sure. Oh, it's to land on the spike. Yeah, that's all it is.
On top from there. Oh, it's stalling.
Yeah, exactly. What? They expected that the side take to be already be through. Remember Bunny? Yeah, there you go. She purposely turned it back. And Rosa, I want to see it. The shock dart has to kill her. They both land and no one dies. It doesn't matter because Empress, they will pick up the last few kills and win yet another round, Potato. This is looking good.
Oh, they're slowly closing that gap. Yeah, that was a bit source of the shock. I didn't know you could actually lock them on the ceiling. That's new to me.
Oh no, it's actually like you shoot it at the ground or shoot it dead into the sky, max power, and it just slowly bounces down over time. It takes like about like 25 seconds and everything for both to finally finish. So assuming you lose sight and someone's trying to defuse, they won't see it coming and they'll get hit by it. It's 90 damage, by the way.
It's
dead on.
Brutal, yeah. Both of those stitched together, that's pretty much insta-kill and they can't stick the defuse. So they'd have to time that one perfectly, but it seemed to be favoring. So that's a bit savage to say the least, but still managed to make it work regardless. 5-9, but the full buys are in hand. Oh no, they force buy, didn't they? So now they're on the eco and trying to see if they can't take some guns away for Poggers.
Empress standard defaulting around here, and they're getting old torps out towards A, and they're playing a 2-on-2 offense. Now two players are joined towards mid. Of course, assembling the map of mid control. The name of the game is always take mid control. Shady, full confidence, going ahead first, leading the charge for her team. And this is good. Finally, the ult gets stolen by Artemis. It was a bit of a ballsy move. She was by herself, but now the side take should be over towards A. As you see the players of Empress starting to rotate over. Pink on first point. Takes down Bethany and Riv. Side is clear. Not a single player to lock it down. Zara still causing troubles from behind. Osacat is going for a lurk play. Going to steal the ult towards B as the spike hasn't been planted just yet. But a 3v5 retake with pistols and a stinger in the hands of Rosa, it's a very unideal situation. There you go. Those are the shock darts I'm talking about. Shoot it at the ground and you bounce it high. Remember, Bunny just expecting herself to die at some point. Churro here's the same thing, and she's going to just wait.
Indeed. So, I just get the can't make those ones work a little bit longer. Oh, quick mob up from there, as is expected. Eco frags are too clean from there. The 6-9, the very nice scoreline. Of course, the full buys are now underway. Definitely for Poggers' life. So, see what happens this showing around. No ults really close. Maybe Rainbow Bunnies, but that's only really going to get you one pick at the very least. Best ult I've ever seen with a Sova was 2 picks and did damage onto the third half HP, but we'll see what can happen this time around. They're doing very good work this time for Empress and finding their rhythm and a bit of momentum, so they should be able to keep up the pace, no worries.
Empress starting to mount an absolute comeback now. The sides are switched and they are on the offense. That's 3 in a row. Finally a buyback. It's a full buy, a force buy coming out from the defense. But look at the aggression. They're starting to know where the side take is going to be towards now, and they're all starting to pinch together onto Empress on site. Shady with the showstopper should be able to land a kill at this point. Not quite aware. There's the players hiding around default. Churro gets one, and Shady, that showstopper will be good for naught. It doesn't matter though when you have teammates that reliable picking up the kills left, right, and center. Rosa now, she's starting to lose steam. Zara rejoins back, picks up a kill, and like we said earlier in the first half, her Reyna wasn't quite performing up to par, but now she's definitely bringing it up. Oh, utility stacking everything, all down to Riv now to make it happen for her team. Not gonna go anywhere with it. Empress, they continue their streak.
Ooh, they are slowly closing that gap. They got 7 rounds in a row for Poggers in the first half, and it looks to be almost similar for Empress. They'll probably get this next one as they're stuck on Eco Buy yet again for Poggers. Their best bet is, at the moment right now, just try and build up those ults. They are 3 points away, which should be ticked into the next round regardless, where they have full buys, and then they should be able to do a nice hold from there. So, not too bad from those. Hopefully they can just try and get some early picks here, some cheese angles. I do see the Bucky in hand, which is always brutal.
Brutal, unending, unrelenting. That's Empress right now. And Empress standard plays on the offense again. They take mid control, and it's just causing Poggers to just be in disarray. They're swarming everywhere. They've left B side now. They don't have Killjoy or Sage utility there to lock the angle down realistically. Two players pushing A aggressive, and that Killjoy turret will reveal them. Artemis on the long angle takes her down. Riv now, this is a tall task for her. Will take down one, takes down two. Shady blast packing in, point blank. Not amounting to much. Now the numbers are all evened up. It's even Stevens. The side take hasn't happened just yet, but this flank coming through mid as well. As you can see, the Reyna, she's about to get a kill right now towards mid, and Zara does pick up Churro indeed. The number advantage is now favoring Empress once again, and this is so bad on the defense. Bethany got to play point blank with the Bucky, trying to get a few kills. Zara dodging those blades very nicely. Rosa down to 3 now. Bethany, this is her time to push. A single right click will do the job. Takes out Pink. Almost a second. Rainbow Bunny does regain her composure. Takes her down with the headshot. Rosa, 3 blades left. You can't really afford to waste it. This is her chance to channel her inner sub Rosa. Right click to Zara. 3 blades. Still get the headshot. They are refreshed. She saw the last player go towards the short angle, but should be aware to some extent that the flank is happening. Rainbow Bunny, Hunter's Fury actually just to deny the defuse, but misses, and the defuse is already done by Rosa. She can die. It doesn't matter. Rainbow Bunny, not like this.
No.
And also, guys, just in chat right now, if anyone could, just wish TMZ2 a happy birthday. He went out for dinner tonight. I remember he told me he's a boomer, but nonetheless, happy birthday, man. Thank you.
Happy birthday, TMZ. Big sweats indeed. Oh, man. Missing that ult. The teammate even pinged it. They were just unaware of the angle. Literally by a millimeter up would have tagged Rosa, and then you would have got the second, no worries, with the outline. But man, that is so unfortunate. A clutch and a half coming out from, of course, the Jet. Well done indeed. And now Fort's in the bag. Things look pretty damn grim for Empress.
Oh, but Empress, you know, the aggression is still uncontested. Shady, good for 1, and Churro, great sprays through the smoke, picks up yet another. And this is the advantage of having Sage again. Cat brings Rosa back from the dead. Empress, they are down a player, a duelist of all things, but it's okay. You have Zara still alive with Leers and the Empress on board to go for the side take. There you go, utility. It buys her team space. Riv now, all down to her to hold down the side. Can't really afford to use the run it back either, because she's basically going to get boxed in from all sides, assuming she doesn't get a kill with it. And she doesn't get after all. Gets taken down instantaneously. 4-on-4 for the retake. Orbital Strike might be able to pick up a player or two. There you go. Pink has been burned to ash. Zara holding onto the Empress from under heaven, and gets an initial kill onto Bethany. 3-on-3. The numbers are trickling down on either side now. Artemis, you do have the Killjoy lockdown. Can't really afford to use it. That's great mobility from Rosa, actually, to use the Cloud Burst to push onto the side. Rainbow Bunny, no Hunter's Fury to work with this time. Cat with a wide swing takes her down. Empress, it started off reasonably well, but Poggers, they brought it back, losing only 3 players. Things are looking up.
Oh, indeed so. They're at that tipping point, that sweet 11. After Empress gets momentum, they just couldn't quite let that one hold. There was like 4 different cat and mouse situations there. So that wall that Riv did to stop the push, that's essentially to cut off Generator and let Heaven out, so that the long take can't really see them. So that's how Sage snuck in there. The ult came through from Churro very well, but as soon as you jump down, that wall's still up. You have a tiny little window to clear onto Heaven, which is your next go. So I don't know why she didn't quite do that one, but, you know, cat and mouse situations eventually favored Poggers. The flank rounds were too strong. So.
The name of the game is mid, but this time we are seeing a more concentrated take over towards A, which is perfect. Mid's been smoked off. Churro Holding up close. Maybe it's a spot out Shady, but Shady is so aware. A single paint shot will make all the difference right now. Killjoy locked down towards A. Rip's gonna be forced back. Sure, there you go from mid. Takes down Shady. The timing does pay off. Rip the runner back gets popped instantaneously. Rosa being so patient. It's got to push away now. Any longer she delays, she'll get caught in the lockdown. Not that it matters as Zara does get net the kill. The defenders are falling one at a time. Finally, the neural death from Bethany reveals that, indeed, all three players are essentially on the A side. One out towards Long, and the Pink, where are you looking? Bethany nets the easiest kill offer alive from above. Artemis, maybe you have a nanoswarm grenade to work with. The plant, it's not exactly for her as well. It's just behind the generator. Bethany will be able to stick the defuse, and Churro spraying through, gets the kill. Match point going the way of Poggers.
Oh, so close indeed for that take. They had the push. They had all that aggro coming through. That was very bold from Poggers to actually stall the Killjoy. Oh, there's no way they can break that. They were just literally manning up for it and literally just holding on strong and waiting for them to keep it going. And somehow stuck in there, like, you know, the flank come through from Jet. They lost those initial picks. And the retake was just flawless from them. So I guess that neural theft really did wager a big factor into it. But now map point, 5 rounds behind, 5 in a row just to force overtime. I think this is almost done and dusted. Let's pull out a mirror.
Ooh, Shady, not even using the blast pack tech, just dives right out towards mid, takes down Churro. That's the source of smokes on the defense, already gone. Rosa now with the cloud bursts, gonna just try buy time a little bit longer. She's gonna get pinched though. Good kill. Not gonna even land it because Ram and Bunny pushed out of the cloud burst at the worst possible timing, takes her down. The defenders, they have rotated over to B side. It's not quite the best crossfire. No slow orbs on Osacat as well. Shady, great movement tech. Goes on top of the Sage wall. Definitely won't be expecting a push from lane. And Bethany, being patient, that could be a chance for trigger discipline. She doesn't really need it. Numbers are still tied up, 2-2. But the attackers, they're playing together. Bethany can't really afford to pick this. Great flick onto Pink. Down versus Zara now. Has a trade back. This is match point. It's all down to Zara. She can plant the spike. Even has the overheal on board, but only for a limited amount of time. Sticking the fake defuse, and we'll get the kill onto Riv. Empress, they hang on.
Risky bisky indeed from Zara. The 1v1 going for that ego, actually getting a bit of intel, but did pay off, read the angles correctly, and managed to make it work. Zara's actually stepped up at the moment now, breaking even 15 all. So has all the side for Empress. Look at those kill wise. There's almost hardly any deficit in the KD ratio, and Bunny on top. I was expecting a little more of a showing from Shady coming through, but maybe the showstopper will prove just that. So they're on an eco buy yet again for Poggers. This should be a clean round for Empress, and just take these long-range gunfights.
Rosa, close range with the Stinger. Can't quite make it work, and Artemis is just having a field day right now. Spraying down 3 plays for herself. She can even get the ult orb now at this point and be within 1 of having the Killjoy lockdown. This just gives so much opportunity for Empress to at least bring it back to 12 and go OT. Bethany by herself. It's a really risky situation, and I'm not too sure if she can do it or not. Well, flawless round for Empress. Bethany goes down like a sack of bricks. We're within 3 rounds now,
yeah,
Potato.
She didn't grab that orb, Crash. She did not grab that orb. I don't know why, because then, you know, next time I should have had it, but that's alright. Got the mop up regardless and managed to make that one work. No worries from it. So, 9-12, 3 rounds behind. Full buys yet again. They still have plenty of ults to cash in for Empress. If they stall them just right, 2 ults per round, they should be able to force overtime. But, of course, Poggers, they do have at least 2 more full buys in the bag. So things can be a little bit grim. They did manage to read those rounds as well. Very, very good. And now Poggers are slowing down the play, playing good crossfires to make sure they get these trades clean.
Riv, oh, great shot onto Red Bunny. The headshot, and wallbang as well. The advantage, the man advantage is already gone for Empress. That's your initiator, and Recon Arrow's gone and dusted. No Hunter's Fury to work with. Pink does get the trade back, and Rosa claps back instantaneously. Blade Storms, point blank, just to get a kill right now onto Zara, or perhaps Pink. The defenders, it's already match point for them, and it's a 4-on-2. They have double the manpower, and slowly but surely, Empress, the last 2 players, they are getting pinched in towards mid. Bethany takes down Zara, it's all down to Pink, and gets distracted for a split second. Rosa with the swing, 13-9. Map 1 going away of Poggers.
Oh, dear me, what a very bad last round coming through from Empress. That is not good at all. No one looking at catwalk. They're just trying to mosey on through for the last second through market. Didn't use any of their ults to try and win those ones back and just let them slip by. But eventually they did warm up. This was Poggers' life pick and they did win it. So that was as expected. Talking about those KDs, as you can see, Riv managing to try and split up for Poggers' life. Rainbow Bunny actually giving it a very good showing. Managing to bring those kills almost evenly across the board. Very good distribution. So not much too crazy from there. Probably Shady could have stepped up a fair bit more. The timeline, as you saw, those 7 rounds in a row are daunting for them, and they stitched 2 more together on the very first. Managed to bring them back, but the economy was upset from that insane round coming through, round number 17, where they had all the more power from it, and unfortunately walked into those angles for those close fights, and eventually by then just had too little to work with and just couldn't make the very finale work.
Yep, and that was the tale of Ascent between Poggers Life and Empress. Guys, don't go away just yet. This is a best of 3 grand finals. Poggers, they are up a map. We will be going for a short breather, so don't go away just yet to catch potentially the last map of tonight's, or Empress, they strike back and bring it to map 3. See you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am DigitalQF, and of course above me, Potato Fries AU, and this is the grand finals. Damn, there's some pretty big guns you got there, flexing. Holy crap!
Oh yeah.
And also,
Guns
just
out,
redeem
suns
in the
out,
chat.
it was great.
Slight flex, guys.
It
Nonetheless,
was great.
this-
I did see one of them from before, so I'll do a tiny bit from that one. It's not too bad. Got to work on them, but you know, today it was really awesome because we've been raining for the last week, and now there is some sun out for today. So I was like, I gotta rock the guns. I gotta bring it, and it is. Mwah. I do love it.
Well, dude, just watch yourself and don't get sunburned because you know how Caucasians are with sun. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm a tiny bit olive. I got a little bit of leeway, so not too bad from it. But the little pasty bits on the shoulders, we'll keep those ones all right.
Well, back to the topic at hand, though. Right now, it will be Map 2 Bind of the grand finals of this week's Lenovo Legion of Valkyries between Poggers and Empress. This time, Map 2 coming in at your heart. Bind, starting on the attack, it will be Poggers, and defense, Empress. Potato, I'll tell you right now, I'm very concerned for Empress because Poggers starting again on the attack.
Yeah,
You know,
it is a little bit interesting from there. So throughout the series here, Poggers and Empress, pretty much their matches, they have been rolling from them since semifinals, literally stomping through, swinging, no worries there, tapping heads, and now they're up against each other. And Empress just didn't seem to be warm. It took them up until the second half, the end of the first half, just to start getting some rounds together and start getting some kills. They lost the 9-13 overall, so which isn't too bad, managing to bring all things considered. But now they really have to give it their all on this bind. This is their map pick. Poggers are on the attack yet again. So I'll have to see how this one goes. Hopefully, we should be seeing a bit more close of a scoreline this time around for Empress. They seem to be warmed up, and they really were just losing a fair bit of the aim factor. Not quite playing as a team, but that too, fine. You do love to see those team coming out. Player picks. Hope to see bait stuff. Usually your Sova, your Rays come out, and otherwise just sides that are locked down sites. Brim is also got the Brim smokes, but
Yeah. Oh my god, I think the music was playing earlier. My bad, but guys, just imagine we're speaking heavy metal. But yeah, man, like Potato, you said earlier, it all comes down to vetoes on Bind, and of course, once again, just great concern for Empress coming to this because Poggers starting again on the attack. There's going to be huge aggression coming their way, and the agent picks. Potato, what do you make of this? Because Poggers, it's not the most aggressive lineup we've seen. It's definitely no Sky, Astra, yada, whatever it was the previous game.
It's definitely not from the prior strat roulette where you saw those ones come through, like pretty much the sunglasses rocking out. This time it's more methodical. They are planning them out. You yourself the Cypher, the Jet, the Brim, the Sage, and the Phoenix. So the self-heals and the flashes extra from there. Not really playing actually for the offense. Both teams seem to be playing for the second half. You got the two duelists on the defense side, and you got the two controllers on the offense. So really trying to play the long game here and trying to get some good consistency throughout. We do see, of course, a Pink. This time, actually, Zara backing up the Reyna. Pink going to step up to the plate. Shady rocking the Rays again. Need to try and sweat it a little bit, but, you know, Artemis and Rainbow do like their Cypher Sova. And of course the Omen as well. So both teams pretty good, pretty even distribution from there. So we'll have to see where they go. But looks like it's going to be a long haul here to see who's going to come out on top in the second half, most likely.
Very much so. Empress, oh, they have star players, absolutely, from what you've told me. But star players can only do so much to carry a team. You have to be, because at the end of the day, you know, in the 5v5 tactical shooter, it comes down to teamwork. It can't just have one person using utility and the rest of your team just stands back waiting for action to happen. And from what we've seen so far, Potato, I do think that Poggers, they have the better teamwork, or at least the manpower instantaneously at the correct positions to get the kills and the trades. Empress, however, like you said, this is their chance to come back into this. Very standard setups from both teams from what I've noticed. But Shady, of course, the signature Raze pick Are you expecting to see some blast pack movement text come out from her?
Ooh, definitely so. I know, Shady. I've seen some insane stuff from there. Most likely be trying to warm up across the board there. Be sure, folks, of course, to get those predictions under wrap. Get yourself some extra channel points. See where you go from here. Looks to be a neither fast B take, as rightfully so.
Poggers, they've already swarmed onto the side, and it's a trade back either side. But however, the advantage is definitely favoring Poggers because they didn't lose their smoker. Therefore, losing the Omen on the retake, there's quite a few angles in the clear and open that you have to keep an eye on. Namely hookah, namely long as well. Elbow control, however, thankfully it's still on the defender's side. But sure, that recon arrow will scan her out. She's going to have to push aggressively into a firing squad. Osicat long distance snipes down Rainbow Bunny. 3-on-3. No slow orbs to work with just yet. And Rev, no, the aggressive challenge does get taken out. Bethany, this is fantastic. I think she got a dink as well. The spray down, and Artemis ends with the 4K, 2 HP. The clean, sharp aim with the ghost, and plenty of room to defuse the spike as well. Fantastic play by Empress.
Sweats and a half from there to clutch it up. That was all so quick, guns blazing. Usually methodical B take, the wall off the elbow, the early trades on site. Only one defender on site was a little bit interesting, kind of leaving them open, like left for the Wolves sort of situation, but eventually did manage to work out. No worries there.
Yeah, that was a really fast round coming out from both sides, really. Poggers life, of course, signature fast aggression, and then the retake from Empress, just equally as fast. You would think that Bethany had the advantage holding behind the Sage Wall with the Frenzy, but couldn't quite get the spray down.
Interesting for this one, they're now on the force fight again up of it, even after losing. Why? Quick kills indeed on there, trying to go for yet another B.
Quick kills, and Bethany, oh, look at that from Empress as well. Great utility usage. She was spraying blind. Down to Osicat by herself, no armor to work with. Has to land this first engagement, and Shady with the wide swing on top of having the paint shells as a distraction. This nets Empress the first 2 rounds. This is a great start, Potato, and we could be potentially seeing map 3 in the making.
Oh yeah, definitely from there. Both teams are incredibly fast here. I can understand Poggers' standpoint from last because they're pretty much running rampant throughout the entire map for the first half, and they just want to bring the momentum into the second as well. But they don't really have the lineup to keep going fast. Like 2 flashes in hand for Phoenix, and that's only to clear like maybe 1 corner, 1 angle, back garden, back hookah. But you know, trying to split them up there and trying to keep the pace going is always a bit weird. Still seeing the half bike come out, mainly just Rosa investing in for the knives round.
Zara.
Pick.
It was a risky play. There were 2 players. Realistically, she shouldn't get out of that situation alive. And indeed, Riv from across the sites takes her down. Osicat, really early stage resurrection to give her team the man advantage. But the issue is, they haven't taken site just yet. They have inferior guns. But this is good. Artemis, if she's not aware, Bethany could just push and get the kill. Artemis will get the better of her with the Spectre. The run it back being invested, but so far away. They have to push onto the sides. Artemis, as long as you play Ring Around the Rosie, juking it around, and that's a kill going her way. And the trade back instantaneously. Potato, this isn't the bonus round you expected coming out from Empress, but Shady from above with the paint shells gets 1 kill. Look at that, another Riv clean headshot. The numbers are all tied up. This is disastrous for Empress right now. They have these superior guns. Remember, Buddy burns down as well. Pink, you have the Vandal, and she could be the hero of this round to win it back for Empress. Point blank, things are looking to be in her favor. Riv misses the shot. It's all down to the last 2 players. Osicat can't check 2 angles at once. You don't have 2 guns. You can't dual wield. Empress, they pick up 3 rounds in a row now.
Oh, dearie me. That is so many fumbles and a half. I don't know what kind of plays were going through each of their heads. The res coming through from Osicat. You're on an eco. Why are we reviving? What are you saving? An extra sheriff? Very odd indeed. Managed to make it work somewhere towards the A take. They then spot out Bethany, and then they decide to keep on running rampant solo into the jaws of Cypher. That's never going to go well. Never in a million years. Oh, sorry, onto Artemis. Excuse me. It's a little bit. So, yeah, very, very bizarre indeed. And managed to make it that close, and also the Sova walking into the molly and just sort of letting it soak in, just sort of having a nice hot bath. A little bit spicy. Ooh, good pick. Not quite the exchange there. So It looks like to be another back of B take again. They've had pretty good success here getting towards site, but the main thing is getting those trades and clearing it properly. And 3 defenders, things are not gonna be smooth here for Poggers.
Things aren't smooth, but they had the Aldrin that spots out a player already. Rib could be wall banged, and not that she has to, because Rainbow Bunny goes to the wide swing. Rosa trades back onto Pink. It's all down to 2 players. Well, essentially 1 on side right now. Rainbow Bunny is still insisting on the swing, gets taken out. Did Artemis just take down a player through a smoke or something? I'm not too sure. She was smoked out from the defensive spawn area. Great dash by Rosa. She has to spike, however, can't afford to lose it. Satchel by Shady. Manages to escape out of that angle. Great swap by Rosa, looking to challenge consistently. The spike was in her hands. Bethany's already on site. Join your teammate. Plant the spike. PTFO. Down to Bethany by herself. 42 HP now. That Cam won't tell her too much because she's getting pinched from 2 angles at once. Sees the head of Shady. And Artemis is there to pick up the slack. The backstab between the ribs. Cypher on Cypher action. Spy on Spy. Empress. 4 rounds now. And these are getting close, Potato, by the way. They're losing players, but they're winning rounds.
Yeah, that's what it pretty much comes down to. They had a whole lot of kills last map from Empress. Managed to keep on par almost with them. But Poggers, they're not playing for each other. They're just swinging and doing all sorts of crazy shenanigans. Why are you fighting solo hookah with spike in hand? Your teammates on site help them out. In worst case, you can push through ramp and run straight to A. That should be a free opening. So that's bizarre to me, but I suppose they're on an eco now, but that is just not where you want to be at the moment here on this early showing. Sheriff's in hand. Maybe they got some inner cowboy in the back of A. They just seem to be swapping sites, you know, not winning on B, not winning on A. So who knows what they're going to be trying to plan for later on. Oh, mispick and the spike in hand. Oh, that is disastrous. With the knives could be dead.
Yeah, they do have the Blade Storms, but Zara still looking to go aggressive on defense. This is great, but pushes into that Dark Shroud, and those the distances versus a Jet Blade Storm, you're probably not going to come out on top. Bethany as well, Potato. I want to point this out. In the hands of sharp players and good players, a Sheriff is basically a budget Vandal. Artemis was a few shots, but she does have a big gun at the end of the day, and as long as she can catch the players on the offense by surprise, especially during the spike, she may be able to bring things back for Empress. Riv, oh no, just walks a little bit too far, and Artemis couldn't quite land the wall bangs, all down to Pink now by herself. Full utility. It's not impossible, but the angles, they're all isolated. This potential 1v1 territory. Pink, the good initial pick, doesn't take a lick of damage just yet. Could have saved the dismiss potentially just to get intel. Lear is out. All you have to do is check bench. Those gunshots will reveal Bethany. That's a 1v1. Now these 1v1 isolations are working out in her favor, but this distance versus Rosa, the Blade Storms. Oh my god! Sees the elbow of Rosa, clutches out for Empress, and they keep winning rounds back to back, Potato.
Oh, how do you predict that at all? I would have thought that, like, with the invulnerability, like, you saw the duel come through from lamp side and managed to split them there, but you could have gone either way, swung towards sight a little bit wider, and the fact that Cypher shot that eye, that was a little bit disastrous. You could tell that there wasn't any footsteps running. You don't need to go for a quick reaction from there. You can probably predict that they're most likely going to be taking this a little bit slower, but 5-0. That was another eco round. They did have a fair few sharp shots, but now the pressure's on for them. They need to turn rounds and quick here, Poggers, because, again, this will be crumbling very soon, and they won't be able to manage to make it back if they let it go for a 7-0 even. It'll just be disastrous trying to get in momentum back.
Oh, the early shot by Pink, and she's carrying momentum over from the previous round. Does get paranoid briefly, and Bethany going after the escape. Use the cyber cage just to buy time for herself. Rainbow Bunny at that distance doesn't get actually caught off guard, and the kills just are not favoring Poggers right now. Rosa, you can't afford to reload, but now you're pinched on site. The spike is towards Octagon. You have to get this kill and then go pick it up. It's not going to happen. Zara sprays her down. Empress. This is the reverse sweep, Potato. I can't believe it's happening. I was afraid for them at first because Poggers, they were on the attack. But Empress on the defense, they're bringing it back.
Yeah, they have very good showing here. I was a little bit worried as well. Like, you know, the dual slumps aren't really built for trying to stop these pushes. You know, Cypher's always great for getting that solo site. The Sova is always good for some intel-wise, but it's hard trying to stall with Raze. Like, most of the util gets spammed early. You wait the timing and you go and burst afterwards, but making them work. They're still going to stitch a few rounds here, probably. They're on eco for Oh, looks like... Oh, actually, the 4 spy coming out for Poggers, and there's still a 4 ults in the bag for Empress. Things are going to be grim yet again for them, unless they find these early picks and figure out where those setups are playing.
Riv with the initial run back, just aggress onto site, and now Shady gonna be the one to aggress with the blast pack showstopper, and Riv couldn't get a kill off of it though. Shady shoots the showstopper to no avail. Does pick up Rosa at the end of the day. It's the one-on-one. The side take is still being invested by Poggers, and it's just not going their way. They push on the side and they get taken out instantaneously. Zara already on the flank, time and time again, catches Riv off guard down to Oscar by herself. No resurrection available. She has to get 1 kill at least. And the paranoia caught her off guard. She thought she was backing out towards showers, but she was stuck in the corner, and she gets taken down easily. Was that a flawless
Where
round?
was this
Almost.
Empress last game? They are just running rampant now. They found their aim, they found their ego. Do you see that crossfire from Bathroom? There's no way anyone wins that. No way at all without some support from the short line here. Jamie also said it very well from Riv. I dream of a day when Riv uses a wall to cut off half the site. That is true indeed. You really do need to be trying to pincer them off those angles to get the fast plant. Just do some methodical strats, you know, like fast plant on A, get that wall underway, and then you keep it going along. But we'll see what this play is. Looks to be back of B split again after they find a bit of fanning out. They're playing really slow here, the Poggers, trying to get these picks.
Oh, but Poggers.
There's one trade. That is pretty good. That is a good advantage, losing the healer.
Poggers, that was a great start actually, because they know that Zara has been pushing aggressive B every single time, and this time being patient, they do catch Zara off guard. Perhaps she was trying to pad her stats a little bit, and finally it will be her downfall. Poggers, they got the initial trade, picked up a Vandal, and now they can take things just a little bit slower. The read is right, they're going over to the A side. It's only down to Shady by herself to lock it down.
Yeah, I should have gone B, excuse me, because they just lost the push on A, not really getting anywhere far, but there you go, a quick pick from Riv, finally found some momentum. Now they're out over to what's this A site. Oh boy, 4v3 here on this post plant. That is not going to be ideal to Empress.
Empress, they have superior weaponry. It's not ideal, but they can at least get these fights, to these duels, and win with the guns. Empress, that's already good initial utility usage, and the great owl drone tag. It will allow Artemis to spam down Riv. Empress has been used by Pink for Empress, and look at this, same thing again. This isn't a crossfire or buddy system coming out from Poggers. This is a huge mistake because they can't cover each other's angles. Bethany is trying to fight for her life, and somehow they do come out on top, and Pink gonna stick the defuse, but the Empress is forced to be reckoned with. Gets 1 kill, gets 2. That's the last player. It's inside the shower's angle. We'll pick up 3. Pink again to clutch out for Empress. They maintain the flawless streak. This woman is an absolute monster right now.
It's because I am.
Oh my word. Just when I thought it was done and dusted, it looked close either side there. You saw that, you know, the instant retake coming through for Empress, getting that momentum. Poggers getting those trades somehow from a miracle, and then Pink clutching up the 1v3. Stick it. Damn. 8-0 for Empress. Now Poggers know what it feels to be on the other end of the losing momentum.
Momentum, indeed, and their economy hasn't been good all game. They've had to go for a full buy, 4 spy off of an eco every other round. There's alternating. Really early intel gathering from the shadows. Won't really
Did pay
get
off.
too much
They
from
did get the sense they were going to go B. Let's see what happens.
The side take is out, and point blank, Zara picks up an initial kill, but the numbers are all tied up now, and this could be a really good round going the way of Poggers. The spikes have been planted. Bethany and Riv, as long as they play together, it should favor them, but Shady, doesn't quite manage to spot out Bethany. Maybe spot out just the outline. Couldn't quite get the kill, though. I like this positioning from Shady. It's a really crazy off angle. But Artemis on the flank. This could be huge from Empress again. Oh, no. Artemis! No, you can't make big shots like that. It's all down to Shady by herself. The operator, the pain shells will buy her space to push onto the sites, and it's good. It buys her time. She exchanged the operator for a Vandal. She can honestly stick the defuse fully at this point. Well, the push is out, and then she's getting pinched now from 2 angles. Goes for 1. Here's the footsteps. Almost getting a kill into Bethany, but finally, Poggers, they pick up their first round on the board.
Oh, well played indeed. Well played indeed from that one. That could have been disastrous. I don't know why Artemis honestly just sort of was so, like, what's what I'm looking for? Like flustered from it. They were stitched together. There was just no way. No one's looking at all. And that was such a very, very weird post-plant angle. I don't know why they were pushed into CT there for Poggers. Like, you plan it for garden side, they're going to stick the half no matter what. You can't do anything about it, and then you're risking singling yourselves out with the 1v1s. So that's it's not a good post-plant at all to be had, but somehow worked out because
Zara.
of the stroke of luck.
Zara was really aggressive, and her shoulder, I think, was exposed early. Now,
yeah, the left side's a little bit too fat. It is back to the CS days, and it went to show from there. So, saw a tiny bit wider than the other person. Oh, preemptive, but let's see what happens.
Weren't really getting tags off of it, but at least it holds Poggers just in their state for just a little bit longer. They can't quite take sights. They did some damage early on, but they're not quite confident because they know surely that a rotation has come out. 4 players of Empress essentially on the B side, and Poggers just biding their time. It's just Shady still trying to be the anchor on A, using the Cypher utility to lock things down. The rotation has gone back to the A side, and Pink perhaps eyeballing the rotation as well. Finally, the utility is out. And the side take. Riv with the run it back. Zara hiding passively. Oh, doesn't quite get another kill. She runs out of ammo, but it's all down to Riv by herself. Empress, they just can't be stopped right now. They're getting kills left, right, and center. They're locking down B. The spikes and hookah. 1v2 for Riv. 2 curveballs to work with. It's very much doable, but no flame wall, so she can't really isolate the side into 2. And the pig! Shady Pig by herself. Riv now. She's on for the clutch. All she has to do is figure out what the last player is. Artemis! Oh, had the drop on her. No armor on Riv. Empress, they maintain a lead. And also Potato, I want to point out, Bind is actually Empress's map pick. And that's why perhaps we're seeing them have an 8-round lead. They have some strats. They have rehearsed this map.
Oh, they definitely have, and it goes to show from that one. I can't believe Riv didn't use any flashes with that run it back. That would have blinded the 2 players with the crossfire close elevator, and they just mopped up the 3K from Bunny, stopped them because they were smoked off the angle from it. So I don't know why they weren't, you know, trying to throw some util back. It was just almost like a dry peek. There was barely any util set up for that pre-push. So I don't know what they're doing here for Poggers, but they just don't have any rhythm on Bind at all, and still aren't reading Empress as of yet.
Oh, the recon arrow catches Riv, and Zara. That was close. Almost pulled it Artemis there. Thankfully, she does reset her recoil to finish off the job. Riv is gone. That's already 1 source of flashes. The primary source of flashes, actually, for Poggers. Rosa misses 1 blade onto Pink, but 4 players, they are still gearing up towards the A tech, and rotations already coming out from Empress. They're well and ready to defend A. Pink, of course, the absolute pillar of defense. Shady, too, with the raised utility. They can lock things down.
B side here for Poggers, most likely. They don't have any info on A. They know they'll pins it in from B, but they're just going to try their luck up against this over-aggressive Zara and see how far it goes.
Ooh.
Well done.
And actually went reasonably far. Zara, she does get 2 kills out of her aggression, but the trade back from Osakat. Osakat has resurrection. She can actually revive a teammate. Chooses not to, though. Artemis hiding on site, catches Osakat off guard, looking for 2, and the Blade Storms Artemis tapping away from Artemis. Couldn't quite connect their shots. All down to last player Bethany, and oh wow, Shady. Oh, just absolute overkill with the showstopper to finish the job. It's the last round. And Empress, they have everything going for them this map.
Yeah, it was very scary from there. So that was a pretty good read going back towards B, sitting at Zara. That's all good. Got the trades there. You walk over 2 dead bodies and don't get a revive. What's the plan? We're going to use the res later on to try and win it. You are 9 rounds behind now, and that extra res probably would have won you the round. The insta retake through the hookah though, that's a bit crazy, but you know, still managed to work out from them. Managed to find the right timing. I just don't know why they waited so long, because currently they have like no kills backing them up. Ossicat and Churro are just getting rolled at every turn, and currently Zara's now on top with Omen, so that's a very, very interesting distribution from them. The last round now, they've got 2 ults in the bag of the full ways. They have to use them, and they have to win this round, or else they're going to go to map 3.
Oh, wow. Zara, again, the aggression swings, picks up Rosa. Osakat, there you go. There's the resurrection you were talking about. Saving it for the last round of the first half. But Empress, solid defense on B.
Taking it and then going back towards A is probably the a scenario for them. And Riv just trying to stall a tiny bit more, but we'll see what the plan is because they didn't predict that Cypher trap wire. He always plays it towards the short side, so let's hopefully they can try and break it. Oh, there you go, man advantage.
Zara going a little bit too greedy there. Will spotted only Riv, but the rotation's already out from Empress there. They are aware of what's going on. Pink and Shady again, the two pillars of defense. Rose has already made it onto site, and Pink, she's going to have the tall task ahead of her, but she's going to get flanks perhaps from Bethany, who will actually just play bench. Site hasn't been taken just yet. That's a huge gap in the wall. Ottercat, you have to get the spike planted ASAP before your teammates start dying left, right, and center. Shady, great blast pack, tech movement to get on top of the ATV. Takes down one player, but things are all tied up now. 2-on-2. Now, the Brimstone has Orbital Strike. It's good that the last two players of Empress are playing together. Buddy system. Ottercat couldn't quite get the spots. Churro, the Orbital Strike to work with. A 1v1 clutch situation. Pink, she's done it twice. Can she do it a third time? Slowly. Pink is moving up. This is fantastic. Not even faking the defuse, but time is running out. She knows the Brimstone has the Orbital Strike. Churro is so close. Pink does get the kill. 3 for 3. The clutch master for Empress. The hero for them. The Unbind. 11 points. Potato. Pink has awoken.
Oh man, and Empress is awoken from their Poggers live prior map 10-2 first half, and now 11-1, an even better showing from them. That is disastrous. I like Churro's play, but you probably can't be baiting your teammate in a 2v2. Even though you have the Orbital Strike, it is good. Use the Orbital Strike early because your teammate knows they're close sight, and then they have to scatter. That's an easy pick for Sage, down to 1v1, and then you can swing from cover and get the trade. But that is just a little bit dastardly. They did use the old switch I was hoping for, which is always good, but yeah, it's, 10 rounds behind now. That maybe they're just thinking about map 3 at this point. They're just trying to get a few bit of aim, make sure they can still transfer into the next one, because Poggers Life are just not in the zone at the moment from where they were prior map.
No, and Empress as well. The kill distribution looking very healthy. Zara off of her aggression, standing tall at 15, but otherwise everyone else very close around 10. They're all hovering around that 10 initial double digits area. Empress, they're going over towards the B sides, and there just happens to be 3 players of Poggers holding the side down. Rosa being jet as well, can dash away. Churro does get caught by Rainbow Bunny in towards Octagon. Empress, this is great initially. Bethany with the frenzy again, and Empress, they saw it coming. Shady was lying in wait. Rosa finally a trade back, a second for her, but then the overpowering woman power from Empress finally deals her the killing blow. The paint shells, it will buy time. Even tags down Ottercat a little bit. Only a classic in her hands. It's not going to be the best long-range gun. Riv is the one to get the job done. And Ottercat as well. Point blank, right click. Takes down Artemis. It's down to the last player now. And Rainbow Bunny, she's very low HP. She can't really afford to challenge. Has to land a clean headshot. It won't happen. And wow. 2v4, I think that was 2v3 coming out from Ottercat and Riv. Great job for Poggers. They won the pistol round. This is their chance to make up for some lost ground, Potato.
Yeah, that is a very good 2v3 to clutch it up there. A little bit odd on those angles. Unfortunately, lost those early duels. That isn't ideal, but the teammate managed to sweat it up yet again. As I said from prior, Riv, Rosa, and Bethany are definitely stepping up and showcasing, but Ottercat and Churro do need to turn over some kills here to help out the team. Smart just do that, and of course the smart play from Empress, the full save. No need to go all in yet. They can do that any other time. If they get full buys, 5 ults, there is no way that Poggers will be able to stop those ones. Good ball from Ottercat, has to break 2 blocks to get through there. It looks like to be another B take for Empress, just trying to get that plant and a little bit extra money yet again. It's a good gamble stack.
The same paint shells from Shady again, and will force a few players out of position, but Ottercat, playing aggressive. I think the Sage will got destroyed. Artemis is gone. The flank fruits are open, but it does seem that Empress, they are insistent on going for the A rotate, I think.
No info, yeah, the fake. They're going to go through bathroom last second and try and get that plant. So, we'll see where they go here. They're just trying to bail away. You'll see who's biting, but looks like no one. They're just going to have to risk it. No intel available But hopefully they can find these early entries and that plant underway.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no,
Cat
the
with
slow.
the perfect timing.
Oh, no.
Like I told you earlier, she's a genius
And
with the
another
Sage
one.
utility.
Oh,
Another
no.
one.
It's
And
so
now
into
Empress, they
Riv.
come and push out a bath. And it's just a spray down for Riv and Bethany. They're farming these kills on the anti-eco. Shady down by herself, only a ghost, James Bond style. Does take down Riv a long distance, so at least they took down one player. Oh my god, Potato. Also got the hero of the round with utility. Didn't even have to get a kill.
No clue from those ones. Not much you can do for a good strat, but looks like they were one step ahead. You saw Sage preemptively rotate just in case. They sort of realized, well, we got full buys, we got guns. I think we know they're on the eco, so let's just have a few over here and have one rotate earlier. Because they did over-rotate on B, but they sort of read into that later on. They kind of made it back in time. So, not too shabby from there. And hopefully I can try and bring it back now with some full buys in hand. Look at that.
Yep, and look. Empress, they're on such a roll right now. Even on the attacking side, they forced the eco out. And Riv,
Okay.
oh my gosh, what was that? A curveball? She blinded herself.
Oh,
So takes down Zara,
oh,
the molly as well. But Artemis still holding the angle, takes her down. Empress, they're absolutely winning this round in their favor. Down to Bethany now. Only the Spectre and gets caught from all angles. One player was already in showers. Pink does get the kill again. Empress, it's match point.
Oh, look at that. Full buys in hand, and they run rampant. They stomp all over them. What you can do about that one? I did like the play from Riv. Almost actually won that 1v2. But of course, no armor available and just a ghost in hand isn't exactly ideal. Now they got the full buys, but they have a problem. Winning 9 rounds in a row to force overtime. That is not ideal at the slightest. Still also can sure not quite making that showing. And look, if they're just going to go for this B fake and then A late, then that's just going to be a free sight. And if they over-rotate, then it's going to be done and dusted there.
Oh, this is literally like what happened map 1, but the sides are switched. Empress, so dominant on bind, their map pick. I'm genuinely surprised. Asukat, early pick onto Artemis again, deja vu. And it's looking for more. The Sage slows. It will force Zara in the angle. Remember, but she is open. She can TP out. So, and she actually does out there. Empress, they are down a player. But once again, like you said, a 9-round buffer. Plenty of room to work with.
Yeah, they're rotating again. They lost that early duel from A. They were going to try and go for it. Maybe the bathroom exchange, but looks like Riv's going to come out on top. But there you go. 3v5 and just trying to gamble out towards the B plant. But, oh, that molly. Oh, no.
Oh, that's a really good movement from Shady just to get back sight. So that's the showstopper. Churro backed off and will land the kill into Rainbow Bunny. She could have planted the spike safe towards Long, but instead aggressed a little bit too much. The spike is in a really awkward position now. Shady can get 1 point back for the showstopper. Pushing aggressive in the smoke. Oh, saw Churro but couldn't quite get this flick onto the head. Poggers, they win the round. They hang on by the skin of their teeth, losing only one player.
Yeah, not too bad for an exchange there. And obviously just try and mold the piece from that. Unfortunately, just didn't manage to make that show. So it literally went out on site, held it for so long, and then they just waited it out. They sort of went, we're not really going to risk it. Let's just retake afterwards. So they hold on for a tiny bit more here for Poggers. Mind you, the 9-13 was the prize score, and they didn't bring them back early on. They do have the easy half for defense. But once Empress get themselves the full buys, at least 3 or 4 ults, they're just going to run rampant, and who knows how well they're going to hold them from there. Look at this, even Shady's testing them towards bathroom side with a cheeky sheriff in hand. Oh!
She does get
Almost
the kill,
transfer.
but the gun superiority coming out from Poggers right now.
So they
And the
didn't
resurrection
really-
from Asukat. This is why having a Sage
Yeah,
is
they
so
did-
useful for a lot of these situations.
It's not. You have more money for them from prior. Like, trying to save those guns, I can understand, but that's just not worth it. Not worth the exchange. Now it's going to try and run on towards the B side to see if they can't get this plant and a bit more money.
One enemy remaining.
Remember, Bunny will get one more kill, and that was all she wrote as Rosa just aggresses onto the site with a Blade Storm sharp shots, and Poggers. They're bringing things back very, very slowly. But as you know the story, slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does in this situation. They can make them work. They can make them stitch together for Poggers. But again, they really need to be wary of what they're doing. At the moment, Empress are really just sort of doing these fakes and then kind of rotating last second back towards the side. Just trying to, you know, search the waters in a little bit and see. But this one looks to be a bit more of a methodical one. Going to go for that A take as a whole and just seeing if anyone over-aggresses towards B. But looks like once, you know, Raze clears hookah, they'll get that sense that they aren't.
Empress, 2 ultimates to work with. The Hunter's Fury, initially, it can probably be used to get damage or ideally a kill. This will be a proper buy round coming out from them, and it's already matched points. So perhaps some aggression or like a crazy play coming out from Poggers right now is what they need to just win yet another round. But Empress, they've had a really good run, and it's going to potentially be swinging in their favor. 1-for-1 trades, Pink with the overheal again. Lear just a buy positioning for herself, and as she rotates out of baths, it's still looking towards A for Empress, I'll be honest. But Shady, she saw Bethany.
They're going to teleport last second now that they've got Cypher locked in for the CT. They're just going to hold him in there. And Bethany wins the exchange. Oh man, that is disastrous into their lands, but Bethany's already on it.
Bethany actually, she got the initial kill, but she still can't really defend the site by herself. Utility is there, still has to wait for the woman power to arrive from the A site. 4 players, the cavalry is here, and Artemis gets wallbanged through the wall. This is possible. Initial kill by Rainbow Bunny. Another would have been fantastic. A Pink and a 1v3 to clutch out again. Not going to happen this time. She got 1 kill. Wasn't quite fast enough to use the dismiss. And 6-12, Poggers. They're halving the round score now, Potato. But how much further do you think they can really go?
Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking momentum another full buy yet again. I'm thinking probably 8 or 9 rounds. At the moment now, Empress not too sure what their plan is. They seem to be like, you know, going for these sort of takes. Like they're pretty much set for A then, and they lost an early duel towards back of bathrooms. They sort of went, well, now what are we gonna do? And they just leave it all to gamble, to chance last second. So it's very odd indeed, but I think they need to, you know, stitch all together and just use them all at once. Like they're 3 points away, give or take, from getting 4 ults, and then of course at that point it's crazy. Rainbow again, solo ult isn't gonna work. No, they need to keep them. They keep solo ulting, just trying to clutch them up in. It's just not worth it. Don't know why they keep wasting their economy with it.
You know, Artemis, she's died first at the same angle, like 3 out of the 5 past rounds, I have to say.
Yeah.
And Empress, you don't want to lose your Cypher early on because that's your flank for it to open up.
Oh.
Good utility by Shady to clear the elbow angle, but the orbital strike won't help them at all. Rainbow Bunny does get caught out, and the retake coming out. It's all down to Pink now by herself. No Empress to help her out. Just have utility to work with. 2 kills for her. She's still fragging out. She's still trying to make everything happen by herself. But Empress, they keep managing to take site to get some kills, but at the end of the day, it is Poggers to bring things back. Potato, this is getting dangerously close now.
That's 4 in a row now out of the 9 that they needed. So another 5 more, and then that's forcing overtime. It is getting quite scary, and Empress really aren't thinking of the bigger picture. You know, solo ult from Rainbow Bunny just to get this maybe tiny bit of an advantage. What is the point in it? Pink, again, like, you know, had to use the Empress from Price, doesn't have it bulked up, but just stitch some ults together, get 5 ults prepped, and then burst out onto site. Full buys in hand, and that is just an easy round. You only need 1 more round to force into the next. Eco round mop-ups, as Churro just goes to show that.
Spray down coming out from defense, and Empress, they're already down a player again. Yet another Oscar holding the angle, and now once again the utility Sage Master buys more time. Zara gets 1 initial kill. Maybe forgot that Oscar Cat was still hiding around the corner. Pink, similar situation again, left by herself to clutch it out in the 1v3. This time, a Spectre to work with, not even a Vandal. Things are looking rough, Potato.
Oh, good pick from Pink. Actually, doesn't even try and fight the heaven angle. If she reads that one, that is a huge play. But looks of it, she just wanted to get the spike and trying to rotate. Yeah.
Yep, she has picked up the spike, but the rotation on defensive side just as fast. The utility has been used, but don't forget, there's still a Cypher Cam on site, and Bethany just walking up. Pink, you plant the spike, and Bethany was already there to finish her off. They're within 4 rounds now to bring this into overtime.
Yeah, that is getting very scary indeed. That's a good angle from Bentley. Obviously, you're just trying to, you know, plan for the cages to cover the trap wires. And so that was, you know, big brain kind of either side. Pink realized that there's trap wires in those cages, didn't really want to get caught out. So just want to go for the safe plant. Sort of got the timing wrong. It could have gone either way. Like, maybe had a bit more time to get that plant and then reposition and then use those cages to her advantage. Or otherwise, same thing with Beth and use those cages to sneak up into Cubby and all sorts. But overall, an alright play. They're on eco round. Not much you can do from that. And now this could be the turning point. They have 2 ults extra for Empress. 4 buys in hand. That's 4 ults versus the 2. That could definitely win them this one here. They just need to bait out some util. And then that is easy going. And we're on to map 3 just like that. Here we go. We're going to see them keep going along.
Shady, of course, Ray's Duelist Initiator onto site with a Showstopper. May actually catch Churro. There you go. Expect our player to be hiding around the corner and takes him down. The defenders, they do get a kill on the flip side though. Riv with the run it back. This could be huge from her if she manages to pop it and get some kills. Osicat holding the angle. Riv gets taken out actually by Rainbow Bunny. That's not the thing you want to see right now. Shady, the lone player, holding this angle. It's down to 1v2. Takes 1, almost a second. And Bethany leveraging the wall penetration to her advantage. Empress, they have the man advantage now. Osicat with the resurrection, and he gets wasted instantaneously. This could be all she wrote, Potato, because in a 1v3, Pink with the swing to finish the job. Of course, we're going to map 3.
Oh, what an insane last round from those ones. They had the right idea from them. You have the wall for Sage. You know that Phoenix in open angle. Wall off the angle so that you can get that res nice and safe, because they res Riv and then she didn't get to use her runner back at all, which would have probably wreaked havoc on that defense. It was quite scattered. So, very odd indeed. But, you know, that is all they had to do. Eventually, Empress thought with their head saying, hey, let's do big picture. Let's full buy, get 4 ults, and just run and ramp it. And they did just that over towards the A site to close it out. So, overall, they're a +1 round difference. But again, 13-8, 13-9 was roughly what I was expecting. Kills, as you can see, very even this time around. There's no, like, you know, shorts from it. Actually, Osicat and Churro did step up in the end. That's what you saw from the last round as well, where they eventually got some together. But of course, the very first half was the main problem. They had no attack methodology for Poggers, and that was their downfall. Just losing all that aim fights and stuff, just trying to, you know, they went early on there, just trying to go towards sight. That was unfortunate. Artemis got a 4K from that pistol. But then they just kept the momentum. Just like, let's go faster. Let's go faster. Let's keep going faster. And eventually, at 6-0 down, they sort of went, okay, we probably need to try and plan some stuff out. And then at that point, they just couldn't get anything. Or at that point, because they went so fast, they couldn't quite read what Empress were doing. And Empress managed to pop off, step up, a huge step up from last game. And managed to get that aim factor definitely in there. So well done from them indeed.
Well, Potato, you summed it up pretty nicely. Guys, since we are going to map 3, and the final map will be split, with Poggers starting on the attack, we will be going for a short breather. So, guys, stick around. Map 3, the final grand conclusion to the grand finals of Legion of Valkyries, coming your way soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And a cooked potato mid-chewy is having a midnight
that's filthy,
snack.
That's filthy. It's all good.
When was the last time you had dinner?
Well, literally last night, but yeah, I haven't eaten since like 3 p.m. late lunch kind of thing. So it's now 10:30, so it's 7 hours. So just a little snack. Afterwards, I'm probably gonna hit up the Macca's because I'm hungry and I do want some food.
Well, you do need energy to sustain yourself because once again, guys, we are now in map 3. It will be split of the Lenovo Legion of Valkyries Grand Finals. It has been an absolute hike potato, but we're finally here. Of course, joined by your favorite observer, Crash OBS. Follow him on Twitter. He does post funny things usually. And yeah, that's all I can really say. So, dude, tell me about Split. Who's your bet on like about which team will actually come out on top in this?
Man,
Is it Poggers or Empress?
The series has been all sorts from here. So, Empress and Poggers Life both very sharp throughout the competition, stomping through all the semis, and now, of course, bringing it for this one here. And to start off with, Empress weren't quite warmed up, actually. Poggers Life running rampant on them. Win the first map 9-13 on Ascent, and then bring it back from Empress 13-8, that +1 difference. Now I think both teams kind of be settling. I see most best of threes where, most team might even stomp ahead for the very first map and then the other team brings it back out of nowhere. Like they think it's unexpected, but it sort of comes down to their picks, and this one is rightfully so. Split, of course, is the decider for them. So this will be quite interesting from there. It's like sort of a last one from there. I know Empress are quite confident on there, but I believe Poggers Life as well have a very good showing and a good chance. Both teams seem to have very good executes. I think it'll come down to those different picks. Like this one definitely came down to those picks for it, because the Sage wasn't really using the ultimates, aka Aussie Cat, to a most advantage going throughout. And you do love to see the Sages on Split. So trying to time those ones a little bit better. Trying to get a little bit of those mid fights, and then otherwise, usually getting those early picks will definitely get you those wins for the rounds afterwards. Because post plants on this map are extremely hard to get past.
Well, all the players are ready, and we should be getting into the final map now, Split. And let's see if your theory does ring true. Of course, Cat being Sage. Let's get into it.
Oh, excuse, I did have to pay out that prior prediction. So there you are, folks. Go ahead and cash in those extra points for you, and we'll get ready for this next set. Now, let's have a look what these picks are looking up here. Usually on Split, you see, Sages come out from there. Usually big sort of wall-wise, other sometimes a couple of Vipers, but the self-heals definitely play a big role. Attack, you just see 2 self-heals. Defense, usually 1. And then otherwise, your fill smokes for your Jets and your pre-smokes as either Omen or Brim. So not too sure. Controllers is usually preference. Doesn't matter. Killjoy, Cypher, both are good. But otherwise, usually those Jets will definitely get you and bait out the extra util and keep it going from there. Locking in already is Empress. Poggers Life. So you got the Jet, the Omen, the Sage, the Reyna, and the Killjoy. I'll just be rocking the Killjoy as well. I'll have to see what the rest of Empress sort of feel for. Yeah, good consistency. I think the swap around for them from prior for Empress, Zara this time with the Omen, and Shady definitely stepped up with the Raze. Riv this time rocking the different self-healer, the Reyna this time. I reckon she was doing extremely well with Phoenix, but again, self-heals and of course those flashes is pretty much her bread and butter. Aussie Cat, of course, with the Sage. See what with the rock with the Omen, and there's the picks. The mirror picks, almost the difference is the Jet and the Raze, but both are fine for holding, for controlling, and otherwise helping fill for those extra gaps. So not too sure what these kind of favoring for. They are playing pretty much for the first half this time around. The Fill Smoke's going to help for offense and baiting out the util. Is Jet, and of course the Raze setups on defense are very hard to get by. So we'll see. We'll see what they have in store.
Yep.
This one, strategy-wise, because it is a decider map from them. So both teams didn't really want it to come down to this map, but this is what has happened. So there won't be exactly, I don't think, completely flawless takes on either side. There'll be a few mistakes had, but the question is, whether or not how far they get these picks early on will be waging a very big benefactor into this game. And of course, you see the usual defaults, the Rays and Sages up towards mid, Killjoy on either solo site, and they're going to be locking in the Reyna and the Omen for that defense on A. That'll be very scarce, and if they realize that and they don't try and stack it for later on, that could be problematic across the board. But it looks like an interesting strat for them. They're holding back of still waiting for an A push. That's odd. That is so odd. It looks like they're just going to burst down A last second here and just see if anyone is flanking around. But on a pistol, when it goes to map 3, I don't think any team is going to be doing this one. I think Empress are in Poggers Life's heads at the moment because they are quite concerned about them flanking around and stomping ahead. So don't know why they are very passive.
Maybe, but look, it's all mind games does play a huge factor in Valorant, but then again, Split is a really big map. It's to rotate all the way over from, say, mid or from defenders or from attacker spawn. It's a long distance to run. Zara point blank with the frenzy. Won't actually get anything done with it as Riv too fast already takes her down. It's all down to pick now. Try to hold down the site. Won't go very far with it. And wow, Potato, just like you said, they waited to burst onto site, not towards the very last few
30
seconds.
seconds left.
But they just got Empress to just go on a bit of a walkabout, a little bit of a roam, and now the players are falling one at a time. It's all down to Shady to try and get something done and pinch the site with their teammate Artemis. Artemis gets caught with utility out. All down to Shady now. Good for one, and the instant trade from Poggers. They do take the pistol round.
Yeah, I guess it worked out sort of last second there. Like, they could have gone either way. If, you know, Empress did stick to their aggressive plays from prior, then it would have been quite disastrous. They've managed to flank around for T side and realize they're all stacked back of A, but, you know, did end up working out for them. And again, once you get onto site and you get those early picks, post plant is almost impossible. Either site is just very hard to get by. I think a good benefactor will be Shady. Because, you know, you get those breach charges rolling, that's a whole lot of momentum underway, and then you can disrupt a whole lot of early util setups and try and get that extra aggro. But they are stuck on the eco here. 3 shorties in hand, trying to bait in for Shady. This could be 1 or 2 quick picks, but looks like just the one.
Yep, Shady, the shorty, of course, only 2 shells in the chamber. It's 1 kill, so it's nothing to be ashamed about. And Rosa, my gosh, with the drop, Artemis at that range is basically peas from the shorty. All down to Zara. And Pink, just to aggress. This is a good buddy system, and Zara was actually one to get the kill that distance with the shorty. Quite surprising to see. The man advantage definitely isn't favoring them, though. Chiro from behind. Oh dear, point blank, execute Zara. Rosa onto Pink. And Poggers, they take the first 2 rounds. It should be a bye coming into the next now from Empress.
Indeed so. Indeed so. They did full save for the next, and now they're ready to cash it all in. I did like the flank round as well. There's not much really you can do with a full eco there, especially with some shorties in hand and maybe 1 ghost. But, you know, still managed to make it work. They managed to get, what was it, 2 kills? So that's not too bad at all. Disrupting the economy tiny bit by bit. You can see the full buys in hand. Shady with the judge. I'd be locking eyes on her. She's probably going to do some crazy movement, but there's no one there ready to contest. It is unfortunate. I think she's trying to plan for, you know, the retake game for later on. And of course, judges are very brutal, and shotties as a whole towards back of male. Such those tight angles, you really can't line up the pre-fires because of the slope. So it is easy pick'ems for them, stitching them together. But it looks like, as you can see, the money-wise are a tiny bit disrupted. I think Ossicat's buying the Marshall, and they're going for the half buys to do there's a few guns. They're just trying to make sure that they can have full buys next and possibly some operators to keep that momentum rolling. Again, the same strat. They're going to try it out and see if they're baiting for anything. Eventually, Empress will realize they're not pushing at all. They're doing the same thing. We can start flanking around and being a nuisance, but this time around, it'll probably work out. There's only 1 Soul Defender on site ready to stop the initial push.
Well, Zara, it's a good paranoia, but however, it's a little bit too late as all the players of Poggers will just swarm into the site. Pink good for initial kill and uses Reyna utility to perfection. It wasn't quite fast enough to round the corner. Churro already chasing her down. They do have sights. The spike will get planted, and they don't have much time, however, to set up for a post-plant defense. Zara with a really high off-angle. Riv, oh wow, with the Sheriff one tap onto Shady. The defense is looking a little bit staggered now, as you can see Zara very low. Riv, one shot to the body. Oh, and Artemis, what a shot. This is just the game of skill at this point. That alarm bot, it will reveal the last player inside the angle. Artemis, oh, that came so close. Does come out on top in the duel. And that's the first round of defense going the way.
Oh, very good indeed from that one. I thought it was pretty much done and dusted. Even though they were on the eco buy for Poggers, they were making them work regardless, and they were actually stitching those kills together. That clip from Riv under heaven on the heaven line is not an easy shot at all, because they can literally run all over you and you are stuck in this tight little corner having to line up the shot. Peeked a little bit too wide and lined up in that crosshair. But that looked almost disastrous if those trades went the other way. They looked like a good setup, and I don't know why the Killjoy, as soon as you heard that alarm bot in the smoke, you run straight at them, guns blazing. There's a tiny bit of time where they have to cock out the gun, and that is when you punish. So, a little bit interesting. Sasha stitched a couple together. Oh, looks like just the one. Maybe they can keep going on for A side here.
Yeah, Zara, that's the sort of smokes for Empress already gone. Osakat still pushing aggressively, getting another. Rainbow Bunny trying to catch the players off guard. Chura was too sharp for her. Shady with the judge holding at screens. You can't really get too far onto sites, but this could be her chance potentially. Artemis, you do have the Vandal and utility, but Shady has already made it onto site with the judge. No players of Poggers actually realized Showstop already available. Point blank takes down Churro. Has to pull out the Sheriff to try to finish the job, but oh, Riv was just standing there in plain sight. Shady wasn't ready for it, and she does go down. Empress, they're dropping players and they're dropping money. Also in the previous round, I want to mention, even though Artemis, she did clutch the round for them, they lost 4 players on their buy round. That's so much money lost, and as a result, you're seeing Poggers right now. They have the better economy, they obviously have guns, they have armor, and they have more ultimates their way. Soon to be 5.
Oh yeah, there is a whole lot banked up, ready for these ones. And if they get a couple more orbs, then that is easy going for them. The main one will be Bethany trying to get that Killjoy ult to keep this momentum going. The full buys as well, they don't really have a whole lot of contesting for this, and they know they won the economy game for this next set. They just have to get on towards site and make sure they don't lose too many.
Yep, and once again, Poggers with the signature aggression we've seen them show us, especially map 1, and the Cloudburst actually flies a little bit far too deep into heaven. This side has been taken by a player standing, and that's 4 ultimates to work with. Granted, you don't have the Killjoy lockdown, which probably is still a huge boon on defense, just to buy a little bit more time. Zara with the frenzy, first pick onto Riv, and then Pink trying to push through the smoke. Point blank gets executed. That's a really risky angle to play. Don't remember, I think it was Riv or someone who's played there in the past. She got headshotted clean. Shady goes down to Rainbow Bunny by herself. And not much further she could go. Osakat farming the ult points for her resurrection. Not that she needed it.
Oh, big step from Poggers this time around. Actually, with this early momentum, obviously you win the pistol pretty much. You see Split sort of go for a 4-0 traditionally, because it's really hard trying to stop pistol, especially on A sites, and they've been punishing them a whole lot. They know how to make this ones work, no worries. But yeah, it's a little bit of a rough showing for Empress. That Killjoy should be shutting them down, and they're not really realizing the mistakes with the util. Leaving them open is not ideal. You need to be playing much tighter angles. Like, again, the alarm bot and the swarm are in the open. You're better off tucking them behind the close corner. Like the alarm bot right next to the default plant is very brutal. No one really realizes it. So now they're just gonna do the same take again. Oh, the fake from Bethany as they go towards A. Oh, that is gonna be brutal if they do not predict something from it. But looks like they are. They're predicting that.
Oh wow, the rotation is fast, but not fast enough because Poggers, they're already aggressive onto the side. Artemis with the triple at this point. Shady was there to back her up. 2-piece for 2 players. All down to Bethany by herself, and she used the Killjoy lockdown earlier, and the site hasn't been successfully taken. That's a really impactful ultimate already gone. Rainbow Bunny even manages to pick up the orb. Bethany, this is a really tall task ahead of her, and I'm not too sure if she can actually clutch this out. My money is on her dying in the next probably 2 engagements.
Yeah. go. Not even that. Just the first one. 2 to 4. Not too shabby going from them. Now, War economy ain't too bad in this next showing. They still have a fair bit of buys. They can buy into the next round. Technically, for Poggers, it'll be a few light armors, but it's still done with the 3k from Churro. But no worries in the hands for Empress. They can buy in the next round. Easy going. They're not even too worried about Zara as well, buying for her, because she can probably get a Spectre, or I know they can get a Phantom anyways, but regardless, they just try and use her for the intel this time around and try and predict where they're hitting. So that's a very big step up, as I eat my words, because Empress are now showing themselves a very good definition of actually reading into those takes. But predicting that fake from the Killjoy hold, that was actually very impressive. That is not easy to predict.
Rubber Bunny, that's a great first pick. But once again, also Cat, the signature Sage, already on the Resurrection. It forces Rosa into an odd angle. She had the jet dash available to her, but Zara was too quick on the uptake. Numbers are even, and Rainbow Bunny is still locking down the mailroom angle. 3 kills her way. Down to Oscar by herself. The Resurrection didn't do much for her team. Almost a flawless round. 4 kills for Rainbow Bunny, and the Resurrection just for economy onto Shady.
Oh, well done indeed. A very good hold. That was actually technically a fumble both sides from either side. So the first slow coming out from Sage is always good to stop the rush, to try and break the wall. But the rope slow from the other Sage, and then they run into it, that's just walking into like a crippled walk, and that was just an easy lineup for Jet. And they couldn't get any momentum from it. They had to wait out the slows instead of just keep trying to contest them bit by bit. It's just not going to work out in the long run. So they were just sort of slowed from that one. Now they don't have a whole lot of economy, stuck on the half buy, and they'll have to go full in for the next round to try and build some ults.
Oh my god, Zara paranoid Riv, and Riv, good crosshair placement, just tapping away. 2 bullets was all it took to take her down. Rosa again, you have the jet dash available, you better use it now before you get destroyed. Shady with a paint shell, nets herself 2 kills, and the push is falling to pieces from Poggers, but the trades are going back and forth. So Osaka by herself couldn't really get any more in that round, all attributed to Shady. With a single paint shell, she finished everything.
Oh, cleaned up from there, and now the scoreline is tied up. Both teams got full buys, but currently economy favoring Empress actually after winning the rounds in a row. 3 in a row at that. And now, of course, Poggers are all in for this round. They'll have to do a half buy next, and it's not ideal at the least. And up against 4 ults, especially Artemis's ult, because this time around when they use that lockdown, they're not going to be using it for a fake. They are just going to go straight for a retake on it. And Bethany trying to get that orb to see if they can't try and get that ult for later, or even maybe a kill to keep that going along.
Empress, you thought they would be struggling early on, but they brought it back. Artemis clean tap long distance onto Riv, and they have 4 ultimates to work with, like you said earlier. That Killjoy lockdown, hugely beneficial for a site retake, or even just to hold a site down. Poggers, they had great success early on, just aggressing onto the A side raw, but now they're starting to try other approaches and just not working out in their favor. Great paint shell by player Shady. Might protect the player. No, but the last 2 players of Poggers are so low. 1 bullet will take down the 2 of them at this rate. And Rainbow Bunny indeed was there to finish the job. The double sprays down and charging up the Sage Resurrection even more.
Now Empress have got themselves the advantage point in this series. That is a turnaround and a half. All things considered, Split isn't easy to be winning those offense sides. 4 rounds is definitely a good showing. You can definitely bring it back from a 4-8 overall. So the more rounds they get for this half will mean the merrier onto the next. But currently I think their plan is to just try and, you know, back up some ults to see if they can't go all in for the next round. 2 ults ready in the bag, and they're going for a halfway. Light armor all across the board. SMGs and 1 band on the hand for Rosa. Oh, classic Zara.
Zara, the exact same play, but this time she backs up a little bit early. She's being... Oh my gosh! Forced out position by Riv with the Leer. And now this is great because Rainbow Bunny, she has to focus on Riv, and she manages to get the kill using the dismiss. But of course, Shady is there to lock things down. The pillar of strength for Empress right now. The paint shell does go a little bit too far. It doesn't matter though. Shady already on for 3, and now the boom bot just to guarantee where Bethany is. Starts off for good measure, and it doesn't actually get anywhere because Bethany point blank executes. So thankfully, Artemis was already on the move to finish the job. Empress, they get a 2-round lead now.
Oh, what an interesting play from there. Zara the same aspect and didn't even bother to rotate, just literally stared at the eye and waited doom, and somehow still got the pick from a good lineup. There to save the day, of course, was Rainbow Bunny, and just like had a slow in hand and just missed all the shots on there. Shady actually managed to save the day, but of course whipping out the showstopper a bit preemptively. Should have waited around the corner if they really wanted to capitalize on that one, but regardless, not too shabby either or. Now the full buys are here yet again. It looks like they are lining up for an actual B-take this time with that lockdown.
Well,
Spike is still back noodle. They need to get it back there a little bit earlier, and if they don't, like, if they waste too much time, they're going to realize this is an actual B exec, and then they're just going to stack it.
that Killjoy lockdown actually, it will force most of the players off sites. Paint shells potentially from player Shady just to delay the push a little bit longer. But the lockdown is about to come into effect now, and Shady, she gets absolutely detained. This is a risky position to be in. Once that Dark Shroud expires, she will be exposed to the world. 5v5 post-plant situation, and the ultimates on the side of Poggers, it's definitely not geared towards holding down the sites, because the defender Killjoy lockdown will force most of the attackers away, and Rosa holding inside the smoke, almost aggressing, pushing to destroy the lockdown. Wasn't quite there, and it's just a bloodbath, but the damage has been done. Only down to the last two players on defense, Rainbow Bunny and Pink, to try and clutch it out. All down to Rainbow Bunny. Perhaps she has a Sage Wall to win the engagement. No, she doesn't. Just a slow orb. Can't even pop the Nano Swarm in time. This is gonna be rough. This is a firing squad at her, and it was Shiro to finish the job after all.
Ooh, they bring a round back for Poggers, excuse me. One round behind now. 5-6. Yeah, again, they went for the full take there, but you sort of like when the Shady play was a little bit bold from it. That was actually preemptively planned. So Shady hitting the smoke for that one. She just wanted to get those paint grenades for the damage and timed it almost perfectly actually to the opening of B main to get that damage soaked up. She doesn't mind if she gets detained because she can just walk through the smoke and they can't see her. That was all planned from that one. And I did like the lockdown from Artemis that actually managed to pay off, but again, there was too many lives lost. At that point, you just need to have a smoke left over, and they didn't quite have that aspect. So both teams full buys now. The two ults are probably going to trump over for Poggers, and it'll be a tied up first half, I reckon.
Well, if it's tied up first half, then this game is going closer than any of us could have predicted. Poggers, I keep saying this, they showed great promise towards the A sites. And as you can see right now, there's no one on Empress actually on A trying to hold it down. Poggers very insistent on going towards mid and B, leaving the Reyna on lurk. Shady. The paint shells, once again, it will lock off that choke point. It's not her to get the kill, though. It will be Pink. Riv trying to aggress from behind. Gonna be forced back a little bit because you don't want to engage with those Sage slow orbs. Riv gonna have to use the Empress. Gets paranoid to even. Zara can't quite land the shot. And Rosa pushes off the side. Picks up 2 kills. Riv now. She's finally stepping up. Getting the kills. Rainbow Bunny, no resurrection just yet. Through the smoke. Gets shot out by Bethany. It's all down to Artemis by herself. To clutch it out, 1v3, this is doable because the last 3 players are not exactly playing buddy on buddy and watching each other's angles. Artemis, this could potentially be in a 1v1v1.
The close angle from that, the bait from Bethany is pretty much the sealing deal, and Bethany even wins the fight. There you go, tied up first half as expected from those ones. So I have to see what the second one goes because both teams kind of went in for that very first half. Raze is very difficult to be utilizing properly on offense. I reckon Shady's finally set up with a movement and might actually have what it takes, but has to time those showstoppers a little bit better. Otherwise, Rosa for defense is okay, but mainly more built for retake-wise, because once the going gets tough, all Jet really has is smokes and knives aren't quite enough to be stitching together without using a whole bunch of leverage, especially kind of solo on B here with Jet. You're just stuck using those smokes and dipping back to cover, just trying to play the reposition game. So, looks like they're going to be going for, most likely a B split take here. If they lose that early B fight, they'll just dip on through the ropes.
Oh, Rosa getting tagged through the wall as well. Just a slight wallbang penetration dink. Pink. And there you go, Ossicat with the really well-timed Sage Wall. It doesn't actually amount to much, though, because it gets popped instantaneously. I do think Empress, they see this coming to an extent. But, Ossicat, I like this. She's running off of, the mailroom angle just to heal her teammate and just to play a little bit more defense, while Empress, they're gearing up for a B split at this rate. If they do go for A, I'll be very surprised. Oh, I eat my words. They go through the ropes, and Churro, this is a really tall order. Good for one dink, can't quite finish the job, and that's a rib, and Osakat to get some kills here. They're falling one at a time. Osakat only has a classic, limited bullets in the magazine. Artemis jumping through the air like a ninja. Aerial acrobatics does get her kill stolen by Rainbow Bunny. Bethany holding on the site and catches Rainbow Bunny off guard somehow. They haven't cleared sight fully. The attackers, they're trying to slowly swarm back onto the site, but Rose now, she can go huge for her team. This could be disastrous. It doesn't happen though. Bethany still fighting for her life. Artemis jumping around like a kangaroo, trying to end her clone. Shady, her position is known. Bethany now with the Killjoy turret. It will expose Shady. Shady's actually going for the full stick, not even the fake. This could be huge for Bethany. The dink and can almost finish the job. But Shady stands her ground, maintains full accuracy, wins the round for Empress.
Oh, well done indeed. And let's get the advantage point yet again. It must have been that wall was kind of their sort of failsafe for it. Like, they were kind of set for B, but I don't know what made them enticed to go for ropes. They just sort of went, well, let's just see what we do. We got more manpower towards mid. We're not really winning these duels, and we're not too sure on the info, so they're just going to go for the B take there. But now they kind of have a sense that Killjoy's over towards A, so they're probably going to steer clear for a little while they get the extra manpower in these fights. The eco buy, of course, for Poggers, and we'll have to see how far they can go with this one.
Good jet dash away with cloud bursts by Rosa just to escape. So at least they have confirmation that Empress, they've already taken B heaven at least. And oh dear me, Riv wasn't quite aware, gets taken out. But it will be Rosa who goes down first. Not even having to use the overheal. Bethany, what the bucky? Someone delete that gun. Takes out Rainbow Bunny. The numbers are all tied up. Sure, this is great positioning. Artemis might not be aware that Sure is so close. There was a bit of a whiffed spray down. Does manage to take one down though before she dies herself. Artemis not being too aware that Oscar is still on site with the classic. She can absolutely win this. That's a reload and gets caught with her pants down. Shady finishes the job for Empress.
Ooh, 8-6 now, a couple rounds ahead. That was almost dire for Empress. They had those ones very cleanly, but the playing off each other positions were very good indeed from Poggers. Let me just think about the one exchange it was. Yeah, I think like a lot of the times they should just realize, well, they don't really have any util. They kind of are on the eco, so we should probably just not really use the whole of util and just try and swing those angles, as opposed to, you know, sitting up for flash and all sorts of methodical take. Probably a bit off just trying to raw aim and see where you go. Because now Artemis is down a gun and it won't be fun in the long run for that one. But of course the full buys are there for Poggers. So hopefully they should be able to get this round, stop this early A push, but they need to rely on the Killjoy ult. Because both teams on Killjoys are placing those util very, very close and they just get shut down immediately.
Ooh, Churro spots out a few plays. It still goes for a repeat. Great tap onto Rainbow Bunny. The defense already off to a good start. Churro knows there are at least a few players already in the heaven angle. Now, this is risky from her, but she cannot escape. But she doesn't get the kill. Gets a double spray down to Zara and pick a line up for her. Finally, Shady ends her Churro's reign of terror. But it's not really enough because the players are falling one at a time. Shady by herself. No armor to work with. Only a Spectre. Osakat with the blind in the smoke spray down. Finishes the job. Poggers. Oh, they're so close to catching up.
Oh, one round behind his neck and neck for this final race to see if we can try and take it for last second. Currently, yeah, as you see, Artemis now kicking in there, stuck with a Bucky in hand. I don't agree with that. You're probably better off getting light armor and then a Bulldog, or otherwise, a Spectre even, but maybe the Bucky is the strat, you know, trying to use this bait or getting those close angles and get those headshots lined up. But regardless, they're not feeling the A. They realize Killjoy's over it almost all the time, so they're just going to keep going to what works, which is that beautiful B split.
You'll be surprised at what the Bucky can actually do. That gun is very misleading with its range. But the orb has been taken, and there you go. There's the Killjoy lockdown available. That should be a clear tell that the site take should be towards B. There you go. Killjoy lockdown is activated and looks to be a B split
no, the
coming
wall.
out. But the wall once again from
Jet, that means she's
Osakat,
gonna
right?
have to leg it back.
It will force Oh, the players on the attacking side back a little bit. Cat takes 2. Riv even gets detained, but it doesn't matter because the players of Empress are falling one at a time. Down to Pink now, one by herself. Has to go for a triple kill time and time again just to win it for her team. She's not aware. She doesn't know that Riv is backside. No one saw Riv back there. She was hiding the whole time. Artemis managed to walk up with the Bucky, but wasn't able to get past the little wooden barrier.
I disagree. I am almost certain Artemis saw that angle wide because Riv wasn't tucking in the corner. She was a little bit in the open. Artemis cleared that angle, was swinging onto it, and then Jet killed her from the headshot line because she was covering for her teammate. I'm certain, almost certain Artemis saw that one, and for some reason, just a bit odd. But I suppose like when you realize one player's attained, you try and run to the side, get that quick pick, and then get the extra advantage. But they just couldn't make that one happen. Now they're stuck on Eco and seeing if they can't get a planty on the fast A. Oh, that's not to be done.
I like the nano swarms from the Bethany. It will force the players back, and Artemis, oh, you are so tagged down. Shady going aggressive with the showstopper. Chura shoots it out midair like a clay pigeon, and Poggers, flawless round for them on the defense. Not a single thing that Empress could do, even though Shady right now popping off on 20 kills. It's just not enough. Poggers, they take the lead.
Yeah, they're finally ahead after all this time. And this is just going to be such a close map indeed. 2 ults either way, but there's an extra 2 available for the Poggers side, and plenty of money in the bank now that they've stitched 3 rounds together. So, don't know what they can do for this next round on Empress, but currently almost all their early strats here don't seem to be working. I think they need to try and wait it out a little bit. They seem to be taking these fights a little too early, and they just need to bait out a tiny bit of util.
Rosa now, Poggers, the players in times of need, they start stepping up and popping heads now. That's the source of smokes for Empress gone, and it's definitely not a great start to a round like this. They have to somehow claw their way back though. Remember Bunny with the resurrection, and Cat still tapping away. That's just brutal. No smokes again. This has to be so punishing for Empress.
That is not good at all. To be fair with that one, you really don't predict that angle sort of showing. That is just like a little bit of a stick in the mud. It's just kind of like such a fine headshot angle that you really cannot see around it. So that isn't ideal at all. Now they're down a man advantage yet again in this next fight. Hopefully they can try for a last second A burst. But again, that Killjoy ult, that util, is actually managed to get a good position for it. They probably need the raised breach charge here just to clear it, and then they can keep that one going along.
Yeah, Shady gonna be the first point of engagement. Blast packs onto site, and Churro pushes out, getting these kills. Gets a Killjoy lockdown just for good measure. 10 seconds left. Artemis, no way she gets this done. Cat, 3 kills. Sage Resurrection, maybe for economy at this point. No teammates around to revive, however.
It is not good, to say the least. They are slowly losing their grip here from Empress. They were stomping ahead on that first half, and now things are just slowly slipping back. Yet for the Poggers grind. Stuck on Eco by yet again. It just seems to be the same economy-wise. Eco full. So I think the next plan for this one is just to try and bait out a couple of ultimates to see if they can have the next advantage on their 4x round after. Because they can get the site fine with their ultimates, they just didn't quite predict the next angles, but they should have no problems with this next fight.
Oh, those paint shells won't really force Riv out position, and Riv, using the Leer to perfection, manages to walk out as the players of Empress are blinded. Sure, this is a great TP, already on the flank, ready to pinch the players of Empress, but however the thing is, you have a Vandal, and this is risky. If she can actually manage her trigger discipline, I don't think Empress that they'll realize. Shady.
Oh.
No, she won't check the angle. This is huge from Churro. But for 1, 2, and 3 for her. That's just huge. Trigger discipline does pay off to an extent. Empress then down to the last 2 players, the final legs. They pick up a gun off of a dead body, but the spike, it's still mid. It's under the defense of Churro. How do you get past this defensive monster who's already gone aggressive?
They're just waiting for Austin to have the sell the fake. And that's just easy. the bait and switch lined up. No fear,
Oh, wow.
Krachuro. There should be, though. Pink is still available.
30 seconds
Pink does
left.
take her down, but look, she's clutched this. She's no stranger to clutch situations. She's done this in the past, but can she do it again? 20 seconds left. The spike either goes down soon or she gets the kills. Her last layer goes out. Empress is still available, and don't forget, with that ultimate, it essentially gives her all her utility back. So the overheal, it will
10
run out.
seconds left.
It doesn't matter, but she just sprints onto site. Rosa has a great idea of what's happening, and there you go. Pink gets slowed, but she still manages to get onto site. You have to stick the plant right now. She doesn't have time, does she? Oh no, so close. Pink does die post-timer as well. That's just so punishing for Empress.
Oh, tipping point now for Poggers. I don't know what has happened from Empress. They've just sort of let slip, and it's just not ideal at all. That wasn't really playing much of a trade game. They were on an eco, mind you. They were on the half buy, but they could have definitely won that one if they just tried to do it out. And that was such a big brain play from Rosa last second. They realized the turret would have slowed her, and then there was just no time left over. But why'd you walk through the back of Noodle if you're gonna run towards B main anyways? Like, you can still be heard in that close angle. If you ran, you probably would have had the extra time and you get that plant. But leaving it down to a 1v2 isn't at all ideal. So now I think they really need to just try and bait out as much util as they can. They are still insistent on A, even though they keep getting shut down from these Killjoy util. They can get on B side, no worries. They just don't know. They just sort of are unsure at this point.
I think the Killjoy turret actually that round, being placed in that position, that single burst, the tag was enough to slow her down and deny the plant. But play it shady. Good initial opening frag towards the B sites while we see the rest of the players rotate over to A. Churro, she locked down mid by herself the previous round, does finally go down towards A. Rotation's already out from Empress. Rainbow Bunny with the Sage will block off the advance for the time being. Bethany, no Killjoy lockdown to work with this round, uses utility, and actually spots out two players. Doesn't take much damage, doesn't do much damage either. The sites has been taken. The spike yet to be planted. Now Zara, this is great. If she can get on the wall and play a more aggressive angle, might just be able to catch Osicat off guard. But, oh, the silent jump as well. And Osicat does get the advantage because she has the closer angle. The trade's going left, right, and center. The last two aggressors are on the sites, and they do manage to pick up kill. Empress looking to seal the deal. Bring this to 9-11. Osicat with the resurrection, and that could be bait. Might as well. But the players, they don't peek. Rosa's back online, but they have to go for a play real soon. Now the spike is already ticked about halfway. They can't delay anymore. Good crossfire coming from the two players. Rosa, the resurrection was worth it. She will be able to defuse. Match point for Poggers.
Oh man, what a very methodical play. The fact that Osicat read that wall boost, that was insane we had from there. I don't even think anyone would have read that one, but I suppose she was just trying to lock in the CT take, and that's the only angle you can see from it. But yeah, playing off each other as well. I'm surprised Elbow didn't swing to try and shoot the res as bait. Like, obviously they were just trying to predict the bait game, and then again, they didn't really play off each other from those ones. I don't know why. Oh no, I guess ran a flash in the open to get the different angle, but you're better off flashing on the ground to get the timing. Jet has to shoot the flash, and then you dip to elbow cover to play back to back, essentially, just to try and get these picks. But no fear. Oh dearie me, what a fumble from Poggers. That is too bold indeed. They're lucky that they still have one more Soul Defender on site, but by the looks of it, Artemis isn't taking it to chance. That lockdown will seal that deal for sure.
Not even the lockdown, but right now from mailroom. Zara already on the pinch. Will take down the last player, Bethany. Poggers, they may be on match point, but Empress, they're not willing to let them go without a fight.
Definitely not. That's a fumble and a half there. Even if they swing back off B main, they had all 5 players on B. So as soon as they get the info that they're not there, that means Empress is going to walk out towards the A site. And, you know, at this late to the game, they're going to be executing pretty quickly at that point. So that's just a fumble and a half, trying to take the ego swing from there, thinking they could just win it just from raw aim alone. They need a whole lot of strats on there. They've worked so hard for Poggers to bring this one back. Of course, Empress, 3 rounds in a row to fight overtime. Nowhere near impossible. Definitely in the realm of possibility, but need some flawless takes here. And need to make sure they don't lose too many guns, because at that 11-12 margin, if they don't have enough money to buy full weapons, then it'll be done and dusted no matter how many ults.
On the bright side, actually, Shady does have the showstopper, so may be able to show great promise in this round. But the attackers just so split, and that's a really great TP from Zara. Already back B, much to my surprise. The defenders, they left side all alone, and Shady uses the showstopper. Won't really get anything. At this point, just Hail Mary over to Heaven, and doesn't catch anything out of it. The angle is just a little bit too high. Riv manages to escape unscathed, but Shady, this is a great angle, manages to shoot herself up into rafters. Drops down even, will catch two for herself. The retake, you're already down a player. However, it's still very much doable. You don't have much ultimate to work with. Rosa finally takes down Shady, enter a reign of terror. 2v3. The post-plant defense starting to get a little bit set up. And it's all down to Churro to try clutch it up for a team. 1v2 for match point is very much doable. She has the utility to work with. Zara and Rainbow Bunny, they're playing buddy-buddy on site. Churro with the initial smokes and utility. Slowly progressing onto site, but there's so many angles to clear. Zara holding behind the wood, and Churro, of course, wasn't going to check there. It's such an odd angle. Goes down, and Empress, they bring it within 2.
Oh, 10 to 12. That was a very good take indeed. Not much to be had from there. It's a little bit hard from Poggers trying to retake those ones. It's a little bit far gone just to have any success that late on after you lose those early picks there, and especially that teleport not really capitalizing on it. It was a bit odd from Shady using those breach charges. Like usually when you have the showstopper in hand, whip both those breach charges down, get that momentum, get a bit of strafe jumping, and just try and click it somewhere. But regardless, still manage to win the round. They don't have any ults to cash in anymore, and they won't be able to until possibly next round if they get all these orbs. But it's a little bit dire at that point, because currently it looks like Poggers have got themselves 3 ults into the next round, and then they still have... Oh no, actually they don't have any money to fight for next round. They are pretty much going all in on this one versus plenty of money in the bank for Empress. So this is kind of the late game now, and mistakes will be made. If they let one pick slip, then it'll be quite disastrous. Looks to be they're going to be going for this B split and Omen ready just to try and, I don't know, get some lurk kills here last second.
I really like the adaptation from Empress here, because they know that the Killjoy keeps playing on A time and time again. The Killjoy has only sat on A for this entire game from both sides. So Empress, they destroyed utility, and it could be working elsewhere. They even walled off mailroom just to be safe. And this is perfect, actually, because the Killjoy utility is over to the A site, and the rotations are already coming out from the defenders. Zara, you have a good positioning, but Bethany with those Molotovs, it won't be any good. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far, and the Molotov will burn a few players down. However, Empress, they do have a man advantage. They managed to get the kills. Asuka holding high up, wasn't aware that Zara is still towards ramp doing damage. The spike's been planted. 2v3 for the retake. They are pinched. Riv with the Empress engaged. It does get the initial kill into Zara. Can't even use the ultimate to get onto site. Doesn't clear much. Doesn't get intel, but dismisses right in front of Pink. Asuka now to clear. Clutch this up. She can do it. 2 clean flips. Asuka 13-10. The hero of Poggers. GG.
Oh, GG's indeed. Had to come down to the 1v1, and Aussie Cat will come out on top of that one. That was such an interesting exchange there. It sort of went back and forth either way. Somehow, like, that was a terrible play. Like, you know, you're baiting Omen as a fake, and then they're all rotating towards A. I don't know why they did that at all. That is just pretty much a signed doom, because they're going to instantly rotate off of that fake and keep it going along. And then, of course, the flank from Riv instantly coming through from the spawn side, but the ult is definitely a big spanner in the works. But finally, the champions have been trumped, as, of course, Poggers Life will come out on top. As you can see, that scoreboard sweating hard there. Shady actually coming out on top, even on the losing side. 24-19, definitely a good showing from her. Zara, not quite good, and Pink probably could have stepped up as well, sweating hard with those ones. But overall, not bad KD differences across the board. And the timelines you saw, first half, 6 all. And of course, bringing it back and forward. Both teams getting a fair few rounds in a row to keep those ones chugging along. But in the end, it came down to the very last end game. That 10-13. and there's only so far you can go at that point. They were ticking down a inevitable clock at that point for Empress. They really needed to try and win a few more early on there to stitch them together, and it just did not work out at all.
Yeah, well, guys, that's the grand finals done and dusted. Poggers Life, they do indeed come out on top. Now back to us. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been an absolute pleasure of a night. Granted, I'm pretty tired after work and all, but this gentleman above me, he did all the heavy lifting early on, and I'm just the guy to support towards the end. But once again, Potato Fries, thank you very much for casting with me. It was so much fun. And everyone, you're all watching the Lenovo Legion of Valkyries. Any last closing words from you, Potato?
Oh, look, it's been an awesome season for this one so far, showing had plenty of teams signed up since last season, so it's always great to see lots of different traction throughout there, and it's always lovely to be doing a duo cast with you. Digital makes my life so much easier, so I don't have to keep on casting for ages on there. I still do love the content as a whole, and always love seeing the different competitive sides throughout Valorant as it keeps on growing bigger and bigger. It's always a beautiful thing to keep on having. So nothing else from me wise. If any teams are interested in competing in the One Day Cup on the 4th of April, they're more than welcome to. That is the next one, of course, this series of the Legion of Valkyries. And then of course the Rise of Legion is on Sunday, this Sunday as well. So be sure to stay tuned for those ones. Of course, we close out this first season of 2021 for the Nova Legion here almost soonly. So not much more from me. Thank you all, of course, for tuning in again. Thanks, of course, to Digital and Crash for helping make the workload a whole lot easier in this one. Hopefully you all enjoyed these cheeky different cups.
Guys, you heard the man. That's all from us. Thank you for watching. See you next time.